Tasers. We need tasers.
Oh, you can see you. Okay, you want to sit down?
We need tasers. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what we need, tasers.
Tasers.
Here you go, bro. I appreciate it.
Okay. Oh yeah, sure. We can see you. Sit down.
So basically what I got going on, I have a fatherly event going on in Cape May, March 31st.
You moving on up. You trying to blow this thing clean up.
Yeah, they don't even have me working in South Jersey anymore.
Damn.
I'm in Central Jersey. I work in Trenton,
Oh,
New
damn.
Brunswick, Asbury.
I always see your post and you always up there.
Yeah, I'm up there, moving them around. You know how the grants be. But the thing is, over the last 3 years, I've been seeing, it's been a lot of progress.
We're not ready. Well, we ready, but we ready.
Are you live streaming? What's the thing on Facebook?
We just
Under
post
Elev8tion Radio.
Yeah, under Elev8tion Radio.
And then I'll share it over to mine Elev8tion.
And then I'll post it on my page.
Right. And my page. And then it goes also to
Da 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 da.
Google. Yahoo. Yeah. YouTube.
Okay.
Under Elev8tion Radio too.
Okay.
You know you want to be a daddy. Come on in. You know you want to be a nurturing father. You had all those boys. Come on.
Shit, I done raised like 3,000 kids.
Exactly. You can do another 3,000. You got more
Good
life.
conversation piece for you. Y'all paying?
Be with
understand.
knowledge.
I got enough of that. I'm going to leave. Go get some more. I'll send some of them kids up here. How about that?
Go ahead.
I'm going to start you out with the 3 and 4 year olds.
Ooh.
They
So
corrupt.
it would appear
Oh, I got a little 3-year-old. I don't need no
See, I'm
more.
going to get you right off the bat.
I don't need no
I'm trying
more.
to get to the teenagers.
So I would have to wait till it's over. 'Cause I was
Till-
gonna,
no,
I was
you
gonna post
can-
it while y'all was going live on my page.
You
I'm
can
going,
he can
man.
post it while it's going live, right?
You going over to the other bro?
Yeah.
You can post it while
Right,
it's
get
going
that done.
live.
Well, that's what I was saying. Where
Because I feel
But I don't
Sit
think
down.
they haven't cut on the Facebook one yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You going to be here later? Or what?
Yeah, I'll be here.
I'll
So
be
how
down
you
for
been?
you when I get done.
All right,
Still at the school, at the college?
Yeah, I'm not teaching this semester though.
Oh, really? What you doing over there? What you doing over there?
Over where?
At the college?
I was teaching sociology.
Oh, you not? You say you just not?
No, I'm not
Oh.
teaching this
Where you
semester
at
now.
then?
Just
you
the
at?
guidance center.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I became the director for 2 programs, so I kind of had to let the college go for a second because it's just too much.
Really? I've been
Tryna-
I've been trying to get into a college so bad. It's hard. I just spoke at Rutgers 2 weeks ago. I'm like, I can't even get a job here. How y'all got me speaking to y'all students and I can't even get a job. I can't get a job there.
The way I
like-
got into the college was because they needed another professor to teach. And my girlfriend, they called her. My girlfriend told them about me. And then they called my clinical director and she told them
Yeah, it's all
about me.
who
So
you
I
know.
called and yep.
I'm like, I'm speaking in front of all these state people, these colleges. I said, I can't even get a job. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, they're this
I was like-
hard.
I'll be like, I know I'm not, I can't be qualified from working with y'all.
I kept sending them my resume, I was sending my resume to Salem. Yep, we ready.
Yeah, Rutgers turned me down about 20 times.
Try here like a community college first because that's what really it is.
so I can start here?
Could you give us some of your feet?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
You can
Y'all wanna hear now? So when Sharon starts, you wanna hear?
huh?
Alright, so I should turn my
More lines.
Yeah. Like kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Okay, now what are we doing? He's live. I have to go live over here.
Yeah, all she has to do is just start broadcast.
Okay.
You're live visually on Facebook and YouTube, but she'll start on air. Yeah, good to go. You can mute that.
What?
You can mute that.
No.
You dive them right in.
I'm just diving in. Don't get. See, I'm smiling. Don't get me started.
Go ahead.
All right, we ready?
Are we having fun today? Or
We're having fun.
Oh,
We
yeah,
always
'cause I
have
don't want
fun.
to be serious. I just came
No, we
from...
always
Consider
have-
we're live already. We got
Okay.
you.
Okay,
Yeah,
we got you.
I've been
always
serious
have
all
fun.
day.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
gonna have
yeah,
some fun.
kind of. I've been serious too, a little bit. So we are live.
Happy
Monday, people. Happy Monday. Welcome to another episode.
I hope your weekend, well, I know my weekend was live, but I hope everybody else's was.
I had a very relaxing weekend.
Really?
Yes. I had fun Saturday. My girlfriend just got a house, so we went over there. I was running around. I was supposed to go see Black Panther, but I was like, oh, I'll go Sunday. But then Sunday was raining, and I was like, I never get a chance to stay home and relax. So I cleaned, I cooked, I took a 4-hour nap. So it was nice.
We ran. Of course, I was here for that male review.
Oh, yeah, they sat on the chair. We had to move the chairs, people. They sat on them, and I sprayed, don't worry. I sprayed alcohol. It's like,
But we had a lot of business going on through this hall for Imperial, which was crazy, which was fun.
Which is good.
Yeah,
It was a good day.
It was very good. And then we kept it going by having Kareem here with us from Fatherhood Initiative Program.
I knew Kareem when he was a little baby and starting off
Wow,
at Youth
you hear that?
Advocate Program.
I hear her.
You heard that,
Starting
right?
off at the Youth Advocate Program, he was a little baby. And he was learning, but now
Straight disrespect.
he done blowed up. He done
Glowed up.
glowed
up,
glowed up, right? It's glowed up.
Glowed up.
Glowed up. He done glowed up. So now he is the, what do you call it, program director of
Fatherhood engagement specialist, program director, aka
I was gonna say, wait a minute,
run
that's a
around
long
the
time.
state and make it happen. That's
I just got program director. That's it. You got a whole lineup.
Yeah.
So you run the Fatherhood Healthy Relationship Initiative.
Yes.
Okay, so explain what that is.
Well, first off, I work for Youth Advocate Programs. I'm the fatherhood engagement specialist, and about around 2015, Youth Advocate Programs was awarded the Fatherhood Grant from the state of New Jersey, which was an initiative started by President Obama, and he distributed all the money to the different states around the country. And New Jersey, we got some money, and Youth Advocate Programs won the grant. In 2015, we started the program off in Cumberland County. We started off in Millville, in Bridgeton, and Vineland, and then we continued it in Salem County, Camden County, Atlantic City, Atlantic County area, and Cape May. Since then, the program has grown over the last 3 years. I'm currently doing programs in Trenton, New Brunswick, and Asbury Park, and I'm still doing an array of fatherhood things across the state. So
because I remember when you started, I think I was doing outpatient there. And so you've gone from Millville, Vineland, and Bridgeton, Cumberland County. Then you in Salem, Atlantic County, now you all up in North Jersey.
Yes.
So you technically stationed right now, you said, in Trenton.
Yes. Trenton, New Brunswick, and Asbury Park. We actually, due to our work and our ability to prove the numbers in South Jersey, we were awarded another grant in Central Jersey. And it basically, the state is just trying to find ways to engage fathers with their children. And, they're trying to start something new, because what social services is realizing that we felt demand over the years. It's not too much help. It's not too much help for men.
Yes.
Period. Whether you're, the average Joe or the man coming home from jail, it's not too many options for us. So they're trying to just change the attitude of men towards being family men and being involved in their kids' life.
So is the program still active here in Cumberland County?
No, the program is currently not active in Cumberland County, but the whole goal is the program of me going to the different cities and different counties is to show men within those communities how to start their own programs.
Oh, okay.
It's so my job is to hold 12-week programs in hopes that a leader will take over it from their own community. And, as I leave and go into the next counties, the program continues to go.
Oh, so it's
that's
a
the goal.
short-term program.
Yes.
To where you go in and you do, and I know you were doing, you had certain events going on for men. You just had the fatherhood breakfast, the father.
Yes, I went to a fatherhood breakfast. We did Dads and Donuts at the Sabotage School here in Vineland.
Yeah, okay.
We've done Dads and Donuts in Camden. So basically, we're just trying to create some type of momentum as far as just getting fathers excited about being a part of programming. Because what I did notice is women love programming. They attend, but men, we tend to have a lot of ego, and we don't want to get help, and we're falling behind. And we're falling behind to the point to where we're not the leaders in our own families anymore,
and I think
one
of the problems I see a lot of is that there are a lot of, in this community too, there's not a lot of people that actually kind of resemble the men that, especially a lot of the men you probably service. Just like around in this area, there's a lot of black therapists. So to have somebody come in that, resembles yourself and that says, okay, well, I can kind of try to help you get to this level in life and be a part of your child's life and be more active and, so that kind of helps also.
It helps a lot. Right now I'm dressed up in my hat and my, regular clothes, but it works. When dealing with adolescents, you don't want to go into a building or come into class with a suit and the jacket and the tie on and shoes. It sounds good, it looks good, but that's not what the people that are struggling relate to. They want to know that you come from what I come from, or you have relatable situations, and they tend to feel comfortable. Like, I'm not trying to seem like I'm way above anybody, because I'm a man too. I've had my problems and co-parenting issues, so we can all really relate to each other. It's not like I'm talking down, like, you need to be a good father. It's like, all right, if you're a good father, how can I take your life to a next level? Because you might be a good father, but you don't know how to get a good job or a career, or you don't have a car or apartment. So I feel like as a man, even myself, we always have something to work on.
And women too. And
yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, but I don't talk.
Did you see how he said that?
I don't talk about women because you will get bulldozed these days.
Is that a class you teach?
No, I just, but the thing is, I do like to invite the women or the co-parents of the men in my classes, so they can see different perspectives. You'd be surprised. I've had couples sit in my class, and they'll hear another couple say something that they were just going through, and they're like, well, maybe our situation is not as bad, or maybe I shouldn't have handled things that way. And you'd be surprised how people looking at other people and just feeling like they're not the only one going through these situations.
Well, the one thing
help people go get through stuff.
I have to say about women, and I'm gonna say it, and I don't even care. I don't care, because I was being nosy. I sat at my window.
Oh Lord, here we go.
And my neighbors was fighting. The boyfriend or baby daddy, whatever, was dropping off the child, and she's screaming with him. Kids screaming. She's screaming at him, and then she's like, "Get out the effing car! You're not gonna see your dad no more. And I don't care. And I'm sitting here like, and the kid's just bawling his eyes out, and I'm sitting here like, "Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that in front of a child? Like, no matter." And I hate to see women do that. Talk to another child about like your daddy ain't this and your sperm donor. Don't do that, because a child has a child's place, and you laid with him. You knew he wasn't no good when you laid with him.
Exactly.
You knew this.
He told you he had two other girls already. He told you already.
So why place that on a child? Because the child, if the man and this guy comes and he picks up his kid and. Yeah, I know all this in my neighbors, but I know all this. But it gets extremely hot because somebody gets cold here all the time. But and it's like, why would you do that in front of your child? And she's like, "You ain't seeing your dad no more," and I'm like, "Wow, are you kidding me?" And then this is gonna repeat the whole cycle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I hate when women do that. I hate it, and I find a lot of women do that more so than men. I find that men don't really say too many horrible. I've never heard a lot of men say horrible things about their baby mom in front of their child. Women quick to your sperm donor. You ain't seeing him no. And I'm saying, like, why would you do that to a kid?
Well, that's pretty
and
much.
And I see how sometimes men have that difficulty with trying to be a parent, and sometimes they may not be the greatest parent, but they're trying.
Well, the difference between men and women, what they say is men, we are logical, and women and are emotional. When women tend to get emotional and they're yelling at us, and once we get sucked into that emotional game, we lose every time, and that's when the domestic and things. But as long as we can stay logical,
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
well, we know the wall's green, but she's telling me it's red. I just gotta stick to my guns because I know the wall's green. But if we feed into the emotional side, then we're gonna lose every time, and that's when the domestic comes in, and all the crazy.
Because he's pretty good.
Stupid
Because
stuff.
he'll just be like, "Go away, leave me alone." He'll just start screaming out, "Leave me alone, go away." Like he doesn't feed into it too much, but it's the point where, well, they're just totally dysfunctional. But I sometimes want to go over there.
The thing is, we don't really realize, coming up through our lives, and even in school, people don't teach us how to be parents.
Yeah.
Nah, they teach, and that's should be automatic, but they don't teach us how to be parents, and most times people learn how to be parents from dysfunctional homes. Like sometimes I see girls in the supermarket yelling at their kid, and I'm like, okay, you yelled at him, he's quiet, but he's gonna act up again in 10 minutes because he doesn't know why you were screaming at him. You didn't explain the consequences behind his actions. You didn't explain anything, and that's what I see a lot of young mothers do. And say if you got one mother like that, and then a father that didn't have a father, could you just imagine the parenting?
The parenting, yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie. I've been through my ups and downs and things like that, but I made a conscious decision. I didn't want a war and battle anymore. I had to learn how to keep the peace in all situations over the years. Like it took me a while to get there because I started off young, and then after a while, it was like after going through the stumbles and falls, I learned it got to be a better way to go about this.
Right. Breaking the cycle.
Yeah, and during my classes, it helps me because I'm not a person that's never not been through anything. I've been through it, so I can say I understand exactly what you're talking about. When she came in front of the house and screamed at you, what do you do back? Or sometimes I reacted wrong, but we're always a work in progress. So I do recommend parents attend at least some type of parenting class because
Most definitely.
it's something that we're lacking in as parents, like raising our kids. We all busy working and things like that,
But our kids grow up.
yeah, our kids grow up and they're lacking because y'all see in this new generation, the newer kids, they don't know how to do too much of anything.
Or have empathy.
Yeah, because the world is cold.
Because you saw how that kid just walked up into a school and shot up peers.
Yeah. That comes from a group of adults not paying attention to that child, and even a kid misbehaving in school. A lot of parents don't understand it's because you're not providing the proper structure. You can say you scream at him, you beat him, you made him do his homework, you did put him on punishment, but you didn't provide any structure. Like when you come home from school, it's this. And then after that is this, and after that is this, and by the time you have so much structure, by the time you're done, it's time to go to bed. But most people don't have structure, but then let 10 years pass, that same kid is not going to be able to be controlled.
Because we had structure more so, like...
But it doesn't even take 10 years nowadays. It can take, it could take, months.
Yeah.
Kids nowadays, when we were coming up, it was completely different. Because we had our peers that kind of balanced us out.
Yes.
Because our peers at that time had a lot more integrity and character because we took care of each other. Nowadays, this generation, they don't take care of each other. They'll snitch on you on a dime and then say they didn't. So the integrity, value, and character of the youth nowadays have been completely desensitized to the reality of logic and emotion. So they're just numb. They're just numb and they're just reacting instead of being the core of stability.
And I feel like it has a lot to do with some of our young men going to jail. We have to look at it. In America, we have a big issue with mass incarceration.
Yes.
And it's pretty much, if you ever watched the 13th Amendment, it's pretty much no other people in jail except us.
Right.
We are the fathers of the children in the street. So we have whole generations of kids, especially young boys growing up, looking at their mom and how they handle issues. If you're a little boy in the house and you see your mom crying and yelling every time she has an issue, that's what you tend to do.
That's what
when
you're
you get in conflict in the street. instead of thinking logical and being able to talk it out or, make the right move like a man would do, you would just go in the house, get the gun, go outside because you're not thinking. It's just all emotions. And then when you're done doing what you did, you're like, whoa, I ain't even really mean to do that. But nobody takes the time to think. Nobody ever showed that kid how to channel his emotions or channel his feelings or,
way.
And we all have, like I said, we all have things to work on. But I see that's a big problem with the young men that I work with. They don't even know what a man is because they don't have father figures. Their fathers are not there, or the mom and dad couldn't get along to where the father's not around. But some way the kid is hurting, and you tend to see it when the kid's acting out in high school. They're not acting out for no reason.
Yeah, there's always a
there's
reason.
no.
Yeah,
they
it's
want,
just not because they're bored or the curriculum is not enough. Yeah, there's always a reason why somebody acts out and can't, and they do something to the point where they're fighting or acting up, stealing, doing things. But a lot of it has to do with, yes, we are massively incarcerated at high numbers, and the problem is when someone becomes incarcerated, that is usually the age that they get stuck at. So when you go to jail at 16, then your mentality, your growth is stuck at 16. And especially when people spend 10 and 5 and 6 years, they come out, they're not a 25-year-old. Technically, they're like a
Matured.
17-year-old.
Right.
Yes.
They didn't have the opportunity
Because
to
they
go
didn't have
through
that socialization. They
the
didn't
life
have
experiences.
that life experiences where they came out, they experienced things. They drove a car, they went to the prom, they got jobs, or just hung out with friends, going to the movies. So it's like their maturity level has just ceased at that age that they went to prison at. So that's in that. So now you got to take a 25-year-old man,
Right.
and try to get him to the point where he's not 16 anymore, but he's 25, and now you have all this responsibility when you come home and other obstacles because you've been in jail. So now you got to try to find a job. Now you got to try to find, get your education, and we're a society that does not make that easy.
Yeah, it's very challenging.
Very challenging.
I know so many people, they're not locked up, but they're felons, and it's sad because it's not much help for men, period. Especially if you're a felon, most men can't get TANF, housing.
Oh yeah, they can get TANF,
Housing. There's no centers they can go to get help. When you look through just the typical social services guide, everything's geared towards women in society.
Women with children.
Women with children.
Yeah.
Women
with children.
Yeah.
Women without children,
it's
you're
still,
hit.
but it's still,
You're hit.
it's still help. And you still have a women's center, and
it's
nowhere. They just tell you to go to the army or something.
Salvation Army. Go to Salvation Army.
No, go enlist in the U.S. Marines or something.
Right.
They don't. They're not really trying to help build you up. They just assume all men are strong, but a lot of us, especially in the urban community, we got to take some type of pride. We stick our chests out, but inside, a lot of guys are hurting.
And
They won't admit it, but that's just.
And that's another problem too, because men won't actually admit to get help. They see it as a sign of weakness, and and I think it's more admirable for a man to say, "Hey, I need help." Before I do something crazy or before I do something that'll end me up in a situation where I don't want to be. Get the help that you need. Just because you're a man doesn't mean that you're a human being. That's what I tell people. You're a human being.
I have a job and I need help.
Yeah.
If y'all can help me out, I will take it. That honestly, like you said, is a part of growing up because, that is the typical attitude. Most of us do have we have more ego than money.
Yes.
More pride, and it's ridiculous. But as I get older, I'm learning to ask for help because the more I help people, I'm like, when these people ask me for help, I don't look down at them. I just know life is hard, and I know society is designed to suppress you like that. So I don't look down on people that need help. Like it's helped me out because I'll ask for help in a heartbeat.
Yeah, because my mom said you have not because you ask not.
Yeah.
You have not because you ask not.
Yeah, I'll ask for help, and it wasn't always hard, but I learned like the more people I help, I'm like, well, I never look down on these people, and that's what usually we do think like it's a sign of weakness, but I'm like,
and
I'm like, it's really not a sign of weakness. A person that you know, a person that doesn't ask for help is foolish, because you're just gonna
And you're
drown
gonna
in the
just-
dark.
You're gonna keep beating yourself in the head trying to do the same thing and getting the same result that's not working. And I think what's happened is in this society we become so individualized. We are so for ourselves and not helping other people. Like we're so worried, you know, I don't want to help you because you might get what I have.
Right.
So I just, you know, hold you down. I don't give you information. I don't tell you things about jobs, or I don't tell you things about, you know, like when I hear about a job, I tell everybody. You know, I know people that's looking. And if I putting in for it, I'm putting in for it. My girlfriend might put in for it. My other girlfriend might put in for it. And I say, whoever gets it, you know. And that's what I was talking about. One girlfriend of mine, I said, there are no black therapists. There's one or two, maybe, black therapists in Cumberland County.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
That's it.
You made history?
I'm about to. I'm about to.
It is Black History, man. Yeah,
And I told my girlfriend, I said, you know, my one girlfriend, Michelle, has her LCADC. I said, you going to get your LCSW. I'm going to get my LCSW. My other girlfriend, she's getting her LCSW. She actually has her practice started, but she has to wait for the license.
Okay.
So I was like, it's like this. We could conquer Cumberland County. If somebody has a drug addiction, go to Lachelle, here's her number. Or if I know you and, go to Sheila, here's her number. You know, we help each other. It's about building the community and not about building, because once you help others, it just comes back to you.
Yeah, of course. And
It always comes back to you.
yeah, I'm learning that too. I like helping people. I realize even in my classes, that's what we go. We go over stuff like that about finding yourself. I don't care who you think you are, you will not be able to reach your highest level of consciousness of life if you don't know who you are. I feel good about myself these days because I know that, you know, when we're kids, and this is another thing, I always was good at helping people or whatever. Like, I always noticed that I could probably help 20 people couldn't help me. So after a while, I'm like, I get joy out of helping other people because I don't expect nothing back from them, and good things do come back to you when you help a lot of people.
Yes.
Because I've helped so many people that I don't know what the end result was, but I know that when I was with them that they appreciated it.
And you do your best.
That's
It's
worth
like,
more than money. Sometimes.
yeah, and you do, and everybody's not going to fall into, you know, it's going to be like 10,000 great followers. You know, because people make choices in life. That's what I always say. I'm here to help. I can't, you know, I'm not an enabler. I'm an empower. But if I help one person get to that goal, to their goal, then I'm okay.
Yeah.
You know, I've done it. You can't. Everybody's not going to do great things, do the right thing. You know, some people might go backwards. It all depends because they make choices.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
In this program, so in Cumberland County, you finished in Cumberland County. Did they start up?
Well, from the program, I've seen that University of Rutgers. Was it I'm not sure what it's called. Southern Region. I think it's childcare. Is it Southern Region? Rutgers has some type of office here.
Okay.
Over in Bridgeton?
I think it's either in Bridgeton or Vineland.
Right here, 37.
No, that's our organization.
Yeah, that's them.
No, Rutgers started it, and it's called. I think it's the Southern Regional thing, and they have a fatherhood program that covers the counties that I was in.
Oh, we have
It's a guy named
Definitely have to-
Adrian McGriff. He's from Bridgeton, but he does run the program in Cumberland County. I'm not
Okay.
sure because I'm not a part of that program, but there is a fatherhood program currently in Cumberland County.
Adrian McGriff. So we're gonna
See if we can
try to find out Adrian McGriff. If you're listening, we're gonna hunt down Adrian McGriff. If anyone knows Adrian McGriff, please tell him to contact 856-459-7207.
457-7207. That's the main number. That's the regular.
457
7207.
720. Like you're not in the mic. Like they just didn't hear
They
you.
can hear me.
I know. I was repeating it like
you looking
I
over there.
wasn't in the mic.
You looking over
I know.
there.
Just,
So you have this 12-week nurturing fathers.
Yes.
What does that consist of, those 12 weeks?
Well, during the 12 weeks, basically 12 weeks, at the end of the 12 weeks, each participant receives a certificate saying that they completed We recognize that some guys have never finished high school, accomplished much. Even if some guys want to go on and start their own mentoring program, it's just a certificate saying that you do know what you're talking about a bit.
Okay.
During the 12-week program, we have a 12-week curriculum. We start off with our first topic is usually the roots of fathering. Before we get into fathering, we like to understand who you are first. It's like, who do you come from? We like to ask, who was your father? Was he in the streets? Was he a hard-working man? Was he a lawyer? Was he an athlete? A lot of that explains about who we are and how we turned out. If your dad was in the streets and things like that, and you seen that, is a good reason why you may act or have certain characteristics you do.
You gotta know.
Some people never think about these things. We just examine who our fathers were and who their fathers were. It's like, because a parent, and I'm learning this, your parents can only teach you what they know.
Right.
When we're growing up, we look up at our parents as like they're the smartest people in the world. They know everything in the world. And then as we get older, we're like, they're just like us.
Yeah.
They're regular people, especially when they're done parenting. It's like,
they're our gods.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
And but as we get older, then we realize like, well, my parents didn't have a dad or a mom or so. Maybe they are lacking in certain reasons. That's why in certain reasons in my life I was lacking, not purposely, but you just can't teach stuff that you don't know.
Yeah. You gotta know where you're coming from in order to know where you're going.
Yeah, where you're going. And some people, like I said, they don't know who their fathers are, so they don't know why their nose is shaped the way they are, why their eye twitches, or why their hand shakes when they get mad.
Because that's all,
I'm pretty
sure
you
certain things you kind of say, like, I do things that my mom, and then when I do it, I'm like, oh God, my mom does that.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, or I did that. Oh, my dad used to do that, or my dad used to say that, act just like him. So sometimes it's almost like a piece missing.
And that's why a lot of us tend to search for certain things and end up in bad relationships, because we're searching for that thing that was probably missing when we were, when we were kids.
Coming up.
Yeah.
So we're trying to break the cycle, basically.
Yeah.
Some of us don't know how to break it.
Yeah, and that's society's not going to show you how to.
They sure
They're going to show you. They're going to show you.
Yeah, they show you the wrong way. Society's going to show you the way you ain't going to like.
You're just not going to forget it. So that's the first week. What's the second week?
The second week is, what is it? Hold on, do I have my book with me? I can't remember the second week right off the top of the head.
So basically, the 12 weeks in a core shell is just knowledge of self.
Knowledge of self. We talk about co-parenting, fathering sons and daughters, the difference, because there is a difference between.
Because you have a daughter, right?
Yes, I have a daughter, and I'm scared.
She's like, what, 9?
She's 8. I'm scared to death. But me, doing this, it has helped me out a whole lot, because I'm just gonna be straight up raw honest with her about everything. I think
say that now.
No, I'm gonna be honest with her. I think honesty is the best policy,
when
because
she bat those eyes at him, people are like, oh damn.
I know. She gonna rip you whole. She's cutie too.
I don't want my daughter growing up living in a fantasy world, so I'm gonna try to teach her as much stuff that I know, so she can either protect herself when dating or school. A lot of kids just don't have it. They don't get a good advice, period.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Right.
Are you strict with her?
Well.
It
depends. It depends.
Now, if you think you had a son, would you be harder on?
Put it like this: I'm not as hard as her as when I was growing up.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a whole different ballgame.
Is it because she's a girl? Would you be harder if she was a boy?
Because I learned that when growing up. Being yelled at is not the most effective way.
Oh yeah,
it's not. But like I said, our parents do what their parents did. So I'm trying. It comes out of us sometimes. But I'm just trying to take a whole different approach.
Because we didn't have opinions when we were.
We didn't have opinions.
No, you had no opinion. You ain't had no thought, no nothing. It was like, what? You ain't grown. Go sit down. You ain't paying no bills in this house. You ain't have a door. You ain't have a lock. You wouldn't have nothing.
You might get cursed all the way out.
Hit upside the head with a lamp or something.
But now the game has changed, because DCP&P say you can't do anything.
I said DCP.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Didn't phase my mama.
It don't. No, it didn't phase mine either. But I know it's real.
But I think nowadays too, it's just because there's so much social media and influence outside. We didn't have social media.
That's why you got to be honest with your kids.
Yeah,
because
see, we didn't
if you're
have
not
social
honest,
media.
you're gonna get the honest lie from it. Because
Yes,
everybody on
straight.
the internet's lying, whether they about their career, their life. Everybody's lying. So it's just like I don't want my daughter growing up seeking validation from other people that are lying.
Right.
And they tell you about, so nowadays you have to sit down and talk to your child about life and sex
Kidding,
and
nowadays
relationships.
kids sit down with you and tell you.
They kind of.
They
No,
kinda
I'm gonna
tell
tell
you.
my daughter honestly, boys want the goal right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna just
Yeah.
they want, whether they
Hold on
like
like
you,
that.
they can see the sweetest things in the world, have a nice car, a nice job, but they want that. So
Right.
if it's up to you now to choose whether you want to give them that, and your resume speaks for itself. If you want to put yourself out there, then these are the consequences that come with girls that act a certain way. Now, if you want to be treated a certain way, this is how you carry yourself. Now it's up to her.
Right.
I gave her the honest truth.
And I think coming from a man, it's kind of like, well, that's a man saying it, so
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
But also coming from a female, a man saying it, but yet you just being my dad trying to stop me from enjoying
Yeah,
life.
that
No, well, I'm gonna tell you.
You can kind of get the both ways.
Well, I'm gonna tell. Like I said, that's why we being straight up honest and real. I'm not. Because you can't stop it. I know
Yeah,
what,
you can't
I know
stop
what
it.
was going on in high school when I was 15, 16, 17, 18, that nobody parents knew what was going on.
Yeah, not gonna
I
be
just, I just gotta, you just gotta be honest and just really tell them what to expect, and it just
With
like,
love.
yeah,
Most definitely with love, because nowadays that's what the girls are looking for. They're looking for that father figure in somebody outside the house.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna make sure I try to make sure my daughter give him a run for their money. He gonna have to work. He gonna have to
be
buy some
something
gifts
like-
and all that before he gets some or something.
Some gifts. You better make sure
Gifts.
that's a master's degree. That's the best gift you
Yeah,
can give
well,
your daughter.
well,
Make sure you
can't-
have
I'm
an
talking about when
education.
you're in high school and things like that.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
that you in the
yeah,
gifted
they
and
don't-
talented courses.
Yeah, something.
Yeah,
He
gifted
like I
talent
told you,
courses.
football players don't bring him to my house. Basketball, the dude with the
even
most swag, I don't want to even meet him. If he got too much swag, y'all can't date.
Now, what if he brings somebody with locks and a beard?
Well, he gotta have something going on.
Wait a minute, I'm looking at you. You got a beard and locks too.
Yeah, but he gotta have. At what age?
What
What age? Because if he's a grown man, he gotta have a career. He gotta have something going. I don't want my daughter I'm holding him down till he get. No, we not. doing that.
No. You gotta be
No, I'm not
prepared.
teaching my daughter to hold nobody down.
So with all the time that you've invested in this,
Yes.
what is the number one flaw you see in fathers that they can correct?
Well, I have 3 different demographics of fathers.
Okay.
I have the fathers that are 16 to 21, and then I have the guys that are, 25 to 40, and then I have my guys that are 40 to 50, 60, which are the grandfathers. Most of the problems with the guys that are older, 40s, 50s, they have kids and they're like, my job is done, I don't have kids no more. Your job is never done. I'm older now, I still depend on my dad for certain things, like my car break down, I know who to call.
Right.
That's not one of my strong suits.
Oh, so they have older children.
Yeah,
so people
grandfather
can come
age.
into this
Yeah,
program with older
I work with
kids.
grandfathers. It's
okay.
more than just. It started off as 16 to 21 adolescent teens, but as the program got bigger, the grant, was more flexible.
Okay.
And then my guys 16 to 21, they just don't know what being a man is.
That because they're not men yet.
No, well, they have nobody. They have no. Well, it's
When
not
you-
because they're men yet. They don't.
When you said 16, I kind of shook my head like, God, who is 16?
Well, my
Like,
youngest father, is from this. Was one of the youngest fathers was from this community, and he was very young. He was below 16. Like I said, it's not because of poor parent. It's about. Not if your father wasn't there to give you the right education, you following him down the street, you watching I remember having a father, and we still was watching Jay-Z to learn how to dress and
Right.
and how to be cool, and then he switched it up to suits and all that. It's like, all right, Jay-Z got a suit on now. But I got a father, so I knew not to necessarily follow everything he did. But I'm pretty sure there's a lot of boys that don't have that at all. They're looking at.
Do you think it's just a different? Because I know growing up, if we came home with a baby, that was it. Like your life was over. Like it was over. You dropped out of school. You was staying home with that baby. You wasn't going to no parties with your friends. I wasn't. My mom wasn't watching no baby. You gonna sit there. You gonna raise that baby. You gonna struggle. And I think nowadays there's so many things out here for people with children. And nowadays it's like, you know, people babysit, like the grandmothers are younger. So like they'll very young. So like my mom was not hearing you bringing a baby in this house. If you brought up, and I knew you bring a baby in this house, your life is done. Like you are done. And I knew I liked going out with my friends. I liked hanging out. And I knew like, you know, because my mom was serious. Like you bring a baby, you go ahead, try it if you want to. But nowadays, I think it's just so much out here for, you know, younger parents. And it's like the grandparents are younger. So some of the grandparents will watch kids. Like a lot of, you know, I just knew. If I had a baby, there was no babysitter until the kid probably got like 16.
Well, there has been a change that I've been seeing throughout the public schools. I've worked with Violent High School. They have a parent linking program and a school-based youth service, which helps those young ladies and young men attend school. A lot of kids are not dropping out of school these days because they have so many schools these days where a kid can attend school and their child can go to daycare within the same facility. And, you know, the young ladies have a lot of supportive services that help them from the school. And if they can't get it from the school, they get outside resources. And that's why they started these programs, because they started noticing we're servicing the girls, but the boys are not getting no type of service. And what was happening at the schools were the women faculty, they couldn't get the boys to listen to them about being a man.
Right.
It's kind of like that's like kind of.
You can't tell me how to be a woman.
That's like me talking to a girl about period. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't even know what's the best brand.
Right.
Know what's going on. So that's kind of how the situation is. And even to all the men in the community that, you know, are listening, we do need to start taking initiative, whether you're getting paid or not, to start fatherhood or mentoring program, because there's a lot of boys out here that need it.
Yes, that need it.
And you'd be surprised, like you said, if you only change one life, that's big time. Because that one person can go around 20 years.
And change maybe 2, 3, 4 other ones, and then it just keeps continuing.
So that's how I'm starting to look at it. And also, if you want a better community that you want your own kids to live in, you got to start helping the other kids.
People in the community.
Because, like, you know, I feel like I'm a decent father. But there's a lot of kids that don't have a father at all, so it's just like
and that cycle has to break.
Yeah, and whether it be because the parents can't get along, I encourage men to, you know, no matter how difficult you think the mom is, find a way, because I did. You know, me and my daughter's mom didn't always get along, but, you know, to this day we don't have issues now because one of us or two of us had to grow up, because as my daughter's getting older, she's looking at us
as the future.
And I'm starting to realize I want her to have a healthier family than we were able to give her.
And as women, I'm going to say it for the women, so you don't get tongue lashed. Cut it out. You had a baby with this man. He may not be the greatest, but if he's willing to be in your child's life and be a father, allow him to do that. Do not talk trash about him to your child. That's not fair to your child. That is not fair.
Stop being jealous of the new girlfriend.
Listen.
But that's also vice versa.
It can be vice versa.
It definitely vice versa.
Yeah, it can be vice versa. They not in your life for a reason. Let them go and be with somebody else, and let them have
But
time.
usually it's still feelings involved.
Oh, there's always going to be feelings involved, because
everybody's in denial, but it's usually feelings.
I think when people have children together, there's always going to be a connection. And as a person with no children,
connection like what?
Well, I know,
right?
If I date a man with a child, and he's, to me, I honestly think he should have still a connection. this woman gave you the greatest gift on earth. So you should have some kind of respect for her. You should have some kind of compassion. And so if she breaks down, and calls you go help her, because that's the mother of your child.
No, that's old school.
That's old school. That's old. That's old.
Yeah. You'll get played out here.
But you're dealing with people who get together with no emotional tie.
That too. Yeah.
That's the problem
That's
that
the problem,
this society is having.
Yeah.
Our generation, is completely different than the generation now. They just get together just to get together. Oh, he cute. You know what I mean? And then they end up getting pregnant, and now the conflict.
And then they get to learn the real person.
Yeah,
that real person
it was just
comes
the sex, and it was
right,
like,
exactly. So
I
now,
don't even like this. We don't even have
Nothing
in
in common.
right, but this kid.
Exactly.
So now the kid is the one stuck in the middle, looking at both of these immature adults, trying to figure it out. But I agree with him that there are a lot of programs for females. The men are the ones who are falling back because they're like, you know what? She got help. She got social services. She got this. I don't need to be there.
But don't get it twisted though. If a man has custody, he gets the same rights as a woman.
But I've been in a situation where I've been running this program for 3 years, and I was on child support. And it was no reason for me to be on child support. How could I run a fatherhood program if I don't take care of my child? Child support is for guys, that don't pay and take care. Yeah. So it's just like these days the court system is not fair, because when I actually went into the court, he didn't ask me what I did for a living, how much time. It was just more about the money.
Oh yeah, the money.
And
the money.
And it was disgusting to me, because I actually go and sit in meetings with child support people, and then I run a fatherhood program, and I'm like,
your advocate.
Yeah, I'm like, how am I on child support? And I can only imagine how the other men are just getting railroaded if I'm working with the system, and I still don't have a chance.
Well, child support, yeah. No, I mean like social services, because we just had a client that he had custody of his daughter, and he got a rental subsidy, got him the welfare, the this, to that. So if you're, especially with like subsidies and stuff like that, if you have custody of your child and you're a man, you have the same rights as a woman. Now, child support
is that if you have full custody of your child,
yes,
or partial?
And that's even with women though, because some women, they have to have if in order to get a rental subsidy, be approved for a rental subsidy, they have to have full custody of their child. Like, if you lose custody, or you got half custody, or, something like that, then you're just eligible for, like, a one-bedroom.
Because what I see what happens is, like, say if a guy has children by three children by one woman, she won't let him claim him, the child, one of the children. So now the dad, he's stuck out here in the world, just stuck, because he can't get housing, he can't get this, that. It's like he don't even have nowhere to bring the kids.
Yeah, he has nowhere to bring the children.
It's tough. It's tough.
So how can I...
But you have kids, but you can't get the help you need because one parent doesn't care about you.
Child support is, to me, it's wow.
It's needed for some guys.
It's very needed for some men. I don't think if he has custody of his children, partial custody, or he picks them up every weekend or every other day, calling them, he doing this, taking them out the play Chuck E. Cheese or whatever, and buying shoes, going to the school. Why do you have him on child support?
Because the system is broken.
Yeah.
9 out of 10, the courts are going to give the child, like Amir said on Facebook, they're going to give it to the mother.
But this is the point.
But being a mother with, with a estranged husband, it is difficult because it's not just a weekend thing for me. It's a 7-day.
It's a 7-day. But if you have a co-parent, if you have a man that sees his children throughout the weekday. You have a mutual, like, okay, yeah, not like a scheduled hey, can I come get the kids? Yeah, sure, come get them, Because why is that man on child support? And he's providing for the kids, feeding them, giving them clothes.
Because if the mother is getting any type of social
services, yes.
Any type of social services, they automatically get the man for child support, no matter what it is. Whether it's food stamps, whether it's
rental assistance. But that's not fair either.
But that's what I'm saying. The system
is not fair.
The system. But then at the same point, this is hypothetical, call me little rose glasses, but if you look at it, if you have a child with somebody, you guys aren't together, you know her money isn't stretching to meet the bills. If you're supplying to help, why would they need to go to social services? They don't need to.
That's the $1 million question.
Yeah.
And
That's
and
the
the
$1 million
and,
question.
and the answer is because they're so emotionally dysfunctional. Oh, if I give her this money, she gonna be living in a lap of luxury. She gonna go party. She gonna get her nails done. But they lose the focus on there's mortgage or rent to be paid. There's groceries taken care of, car notes to be paid, insurance, health insurance, all these things in order to raise a child. They lose that focus. If you realize most arguments, you probably hear this, oh, if I give her money, she's going to go blow it on something else. Not even focusing on the kid. So, okay, if you're concerned about that kid, then you know what? That kid needs sneakers, buy that kid sneakers. If that kid needs a haircut and she can't afford it, then take care of it. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be just a weekend fun thing. It should be a 365 day until that child can grow up and be functional on their own. But because society is so broken, family structures are so broken, that normal common sense trait isn't being fulfilled.
Like my parents, they both work. Now I'm talking about working people that work, don't need the system. When my mom and dad split up, they went to court and it was like $25, I think my dad had to pay for a week, and he was like, I think he almost cussed the judge out.
For
It
$25
was like,
a week?
no, because it was like, those are my children, and you telling me they're only worth $25, so they just walked out of the courtroom, and it was like, they just parented.
Right.
It wasn't any courts involved. My dad, anything. I was basically spoiled. So the court would have screwed me up.
Well, they do have a mediation point before you even get to court.
But not
They
if
try
you're
to
on social
settle.
services, they don't.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think with
See,
social
that's
services.
I don't think
social
that's fair
services is like
because
an automatic.
that's not fair
Yeah.
because like I remember having a child. I'm like, well, I can take care of my side, but I can't control what she goes and does.
Yeah.
Right.
Like so, it's like now I'm in debt because it was like I got all my money right here, and I got the
And
I got the baby stroller, I got everything.
You got everything you need to take care of the child, and
but based on how she feels at the moment, now I'm in debt. It should not be connected like that.
And then we actually have people with SSD.
Oh, that's
D, I
Okay.
think. They tax your social security. So we have people getting only like $500 and some a month. Where are they surviving?
Right.
Because they have child support taken out.
Yeah.
And it's like, where are they going to survive
I
off
seen
of $500 and some
I seen a
dollars?
man in court get a second job. They said, "Oh, we need some out of that too." I'm
Too.
like, whoa! I'm not
Right.
a celebrity. He's like, I got
my
the second
God.
job just so I can make up
Just
for
so
this
I can,
one.
Right.
like,
And they're
survive.
like, nah, we don't care. We need from that, and the part time, and the
that's-
other part time, and it's
Oh,
like,
God.
But that's where
It's
the
tough.
emotional dysfunction comes in.
that as honestly as a man makes you just want to just go to another state. I've been there. I've
Right.
Yeah, it does.
I think I
It almost-
contemplated it like 20 times. I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm done with this. And I'm like, I don't even want this job. I'm just. It gets frustrating at times.
But
because
both parents have to be logical, like you said at the
Yeah, yeah.
beginning. If both parents are logical, if I'm paying my mortgage and he's paying his mortgage in his spot, you know what I mean? Basically, if we can afford where we're living, the only thing we need to worry about is that kid.
Well, I'm in a situation now where I have custody of my child, and I have asked her mom for $1 just to show her that I know the money I send is not. Is helpful, but it's not needed because I can take care of my child by myself. And I'm like, food every week. I'm like, clothes. And I'm like, it's not as crazy and strenuous as they make it seem at times.
Well, it depends on how
many
much.
children.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
how
know.
much
No,
making.
no.
Yeah.
Also, you also got to remember that it's easier for a man to earn more money than a female.
Yeah, that's true.
Good point,
Because our
good
mate,
point.
yeah.
We're climbing
Good point.
up now,
Yeah, good
but
point.
but before, you can go out there and we can work the same job, but you're gonna get, what is
But-
it, 30% more than I would?
Well, I see these days most women have more money than men.
But
so
that's
I don't
now.
really run into too many men with good jobs. And trust me, you ladies are.
We're trying to get our money.
no, not to down the brothers. I always, I'm encouraging. We got to step it up because we last in the race. Our women are passing us these days.
But that's as of lately, within the last
As
2
lately.
years.
No, I'm gonna say 5. Or I'm
We've
gonna say
been,
last
and
5.
I think it's more. I think women have just been coming up more because we're getting more empowered and willing to, take those chances,
Right.
and take those risks. Men are more risk takers. when it comes to jobs and, jumping out there into the field. Women are more, especially if you have children,
But
you're not
women
as
have been
willing
forced
to.
into the position of being a provider because
Yeah.
of
Oh,
that.
yeah.
We've been forced because some women just look at the father and be like, man, I ain't gonna keep fighting you. I'm just gonna do me.
Can I ask you a question? What do you think happened to the role of men over the years? Because I think I know, but I want to hear it from your perspective. Because, like I said,
I'm sipping my tea.
like I said, the balance of power has switched big
Right.
time,
Right.
and it's really messing up family structures. Because now you have the younger generation of girls. They're like, we really don't need you around, and it's based
Yeah.
off of whatever their mom went through and.
I
Honestly,
think-
the great grandmothers are like 45 now, or
Yeah.
like 48.
Great
Like, so
grandmothers, yeah.
they're not really that old, and it's like
I think,
and the
well,
moms
to
are
me,
36.
it started like in the 60s, 70s when the social services came in. Because social services was rough back then. Social service came in your house. If you had men's shoes in there, you're getting cut
Right.
from the system. You couldn't live in a certain, apartment complex with a man there, and you're getting social services. So the man kind of felt like, women more so felt like the system is taking care of us. So you don't really, I don't really need you because the system here. And then probably men felt like I can only come creeping over here in the nighttime so social
I've been
service
through
people
that.
don't see me. So then I gotta leave in the morning. Like, how do you feel as a man doing that?
I grew up in housing authority, so I pretty understand
Yeah,
that whole.
so-
like my dad was not supposed to live with us. The
Yeah,
whole time
so
he
it's
lived with us.
kind of
So-
like
Right.
and that's not that's bad.
that's
not-
bad
yeah,
because then that emasculates the man's role. Like he's really not head of the household anymore.
Well, when you think about it, all around the board at the schools don't even ask for the fathers no more.
Yeah.
They don't even assume that they're there. I deal with so many schools. They don't even assume that men are around, so they're not.
Yeah, they naturally
They're not
assume,
looking
yeah.
to cater to the fathers, like you said. Women have been being empowered. Far as I can remember, since Beyonce came out with that song, "Independent Women" and all that stuff, like that whole era. We were teenagers when that. Well, I was a teenager.
Well, I was gonna say.
I was a
kinda
teenager.
teenager.
I was a teenager when those type of things started coming out, and like I said, women are becoming powerful because even with most social services programs, women run them. I rarely run into too many men that run.
I think
Too
that's
many
what happened. Like
programs.
so much over the years, is men just felt as if they weren't needed. And more women, the age of, feminism and all that, and the burning the bras, and, and I'm all for women's rights. I'm all for us making the money. But I fully believe that a man is supposed to be the head of my household.
Yeah, because it's throwing
Like,
off the balance. It's actually
it's-
throwing off the balance in relationships because it's like,
Yes.
well, the man is like, well, if you working and you trying to do this and you don't have respect, where do I fit in at?
Fit in.
Yeah,
It's like,
where do I fit in? Like, I'm
And
not going
women,
to be submissive.
We're so quick
I'm not
to
supposed
say,
to be submissive.
oh, I don't need you. I don't need man. I don't need man. I don't need man. And then it's like, so, okay, well, what am I here for then? You know what I mean? And women tend to forget that men, they are protectors and providers. That's what they do. That is their role. That's how they fulfill their role. And we just snatch that away from them, saying, well, I can protect my own self. I can provide for my own self. Yes, I can. Do I want to? No. I absolutely do not. I want a king to come in. Queen can't be queen, need a king. Always.
Yeah.
Queen always need a king.
I can't blame women for taking that strong stance, but it is an issue out here with
It's a serious.
the polarity of feminine and masculine energy. Is like people don't know their roles with dealing with each other. Like,
And it's
even
like
when
I
you-
almost get sometimes caught in the crossfire with men because it's like I have that view, and it's like I guess from so many other relationships, it's been especially the money aspect always comes into play. Oh well, you make more money than me, and
You're a dominant female.
Yeah,
for the record.
I am.
You're a dom. You're a dom.
I am. I'm an alpha woman, but this is my thing. Is go ahead and do that. I say, hey, take it over. I want you. Hey, I'm gonna sit down here and you handle that.
Who you talking to? Another alpha male or a beta male? Because girls date beta males and they don't even know it.
Alpha males, but it sometimes and it all depends. they have issues within themselves that maybe, I don't know, another woman might have threw it up in their face, so you make more money than me, and you blah, 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 blah. Like, I could be talking about, we could be driving, and I'd be like, oh, that's a pretty blue sky. I can buy my own sky. I don't need your money. And I'm like, where did that come from?
And that's an alpha male?
Yeah. And
Well,
it'll
the
be,
components
but,
of being an alpha male is being confident.
but it sometimes, it all
That
depends on
confident, that
what.
arrogance gets confused.
Yes, and
Yeah.
then what happened before with somebody else that you haven't resolved yet, that now you're taking out on me. Because I said the sky was blue, and now you can buy your own sky. You don't need my money, and I'm like, where'd this come from? So I honestly, I posted something about on Facebook where when I was hauling up that air conditioner, almost died up 15 steps. Yeah.
Nah, so
5,000
I
BTU.
think being a male, I feel like I'm an alpha male. The situation you just explained, I think women are so strong these days. We tend to try to make them because a lot of women these days that I run across, they come across beta males, and they used to coming from a male that they was telling everything to do. They knew you run a store, if you just do any old thing. So sometimes that's us tempted to remind you that
I
we're
don't
not
like.
them.
I don't like them kind. I can't date a man where I'm telling you what to do.
Well, there's a lot of men
No.
out here like that.
Yeah.
No.
And like women,
But
There
because,
is.
Women
because
like-
the structure of the home has completely changed. Social services was a help, but it also
It hurt the
families because now the female can go out there and get the help that she needs to supplement what's missing in the house.
yeah, big
So
time.
now it's teaching the children.
Yeah.
It's a cycle. So the imbalance came in when we stopped providing and communicating.
Yes, big time.
That's the biggest issue because men will easily, if I'm making less than you, will come home and say, oh, we'll keep your cheap change because I don't, I got this.
I can't wait to meet a woman that make more money than me. Man, if you make 100,000, we on the roll. Like we in
But
there.
see, it
like,
takes an alpha man to
Yeah,
understand that because
yeah,
now
I'm
y'all
not-
can build together and get where you need to get
And
to.
that's
I'm
the
not
point I don't
insecure
get.
at all. I can't wait to meet her.
Because if you're a couple and I'm making money, you making money, our money together is
We
going to be
winning,
great.
yeah.
That's
We
considered
winning.
a power couple, but many
Yeah.
people aren't used to that kind of structure because the man, like he says, the beta man is intimidated by that.
Like
He's
put
not
it
gonna
like
be
this,
able to-
a woman of your stature works at a college, whoop-de-woo. A guy at Walmart is going to be like he don't
out your
like
league.
everything he's trying to do is going to be to prove that he's that man because
Yeah.
he can't. It's
But
not.
he
It's
was-
not. You could quickly be like, I don't need you. Like quick. Like exactly. Nah.
If he bought up
I
that
used to
air
work with her.
conditioner.
I know.
But that's a shame because you know
Look,
what?
no, if he bought up that air conditioner, honey, you get dinner, I rub your feet, 'cause that air conditioner was heavy. And I was like, Lord, just send me a man, I
but
need a
if
man.
if he don't act right next week, he know where he can go at, right?
Oh, but that's an alpha male too. That's a male making 100,000 a year.
But the thing
you don't
about,
act right, you
but
about
the
to
thing
go
about
too.
the alpha male tends to keep on going and
Yeah.
know what he's doing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
That I mean,
yeah,
but
yeah.
and that doesn't matter. Like if a man's
Yeah,
making
no.
less or more, if you act crazy, you got to go. I don't
Yeah,
care
yeah,
how
yeah.
much you make it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you're
got
right,
to go
you're right,
because
you're right.
So the first thing is self care and self love and peace of mind in my life. Then it's the money part. Then, if you bringing me chaos, I don't care how much
Right.
you got to go. Like,
And my
Yes.
household was two different structures. My mother was the one who worked for Rutgers University. My dad
Okay.
was a landscaper. So the money was completely off, but they co-parented. You know what I mean? My mother would get up, get his breakfast together, get his lunch together, send him off to work. She'd get ready, get the kids out the door, and she would go off to work. We came home, we fend for ourselves because, she's out working till 5, 6 o'clock. He's working till 7, 8 o'clock. We took care of the
yeah,
household.
so your kids, kind
That's
of.
because your mom had a respect for him as a man.
As a
It
man.
had nothing to do
Had
about
nothing
her
to
job.
do with her
Had
job.
nothing to
and,
do.
and that's where it's not at.
Right.
Like even me dating these days is like, if a girl don't respect me and thinks she can just do whatever, I'm like, I don't even have.
Well, respect is the
time
core
for
of
it.
love.
Yeah.
So that's what people don't have respect for each other anyway.
Yeah.
Nowadays, your generation is even worse than our generation. You see these kids cussing their mamas out. you know what I mean, plotting to do physical harm to their siblings. It's a whole different spectrum. So the home structure between your generation and our generation has completely dissolved. It's not there anymore. Fathers are having kids by one father, 5 baby mamas. You know?
Talk about it. Talk about
So
it.
there's no even tail. The men really need to step up and take accountability for what it is that they're doing, because if they're the head, their life has to resemble the head.
You're right.
And if it's not resembling the head, that's where it all falls apart. Now you're making the female step up and be the head. And then now there becomes that animosity of, oh, you think you're the man? No, you need to step up. If you're not going to step in, that's where the point that you said between alpha and beta.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I should have to handle certain things when it comes to things in life, like arguing about my car or, you know, dealing with certain people. And that's a man's job.
Like me.
Like, that's not my role. Like, I don't want to do it.
No, it's a pet peeve for me. And I said, I'm going to tell my daughter, I do not ever want her to see her driving a man around with the seat all the way back. You ever see that with the girls be driving? They be looking, they look nice and stupid. They be like this, and he's sitting back, she taking care of you, and she taking care of him. Like, I was raised to where, you know, at least be a man and get your license and drive her around.
Yes.
At least if you can't afford the car, be masculine and be a man. But that's a sign that they don't know. Like, the guys don't know. They think they the king, they the man. But I'm looking at, from me being a man, I'm like, that's weak, because imagine me laying back in my car. Like, no, I wouldn't even feel right. I don't know. Maybe something wrong with me.
You shouldn't feel right as a man.
Yeah, but
really
I'm going to make sure, my daughter, if you got a car that you work hard for, or I bought you, and unless that boy got a
he better be paying payments on that.
He got to be doing something. He got to be doing something. He got to have straight A's in school to ride in your car like that. Back and I don't know. It just looks weak to me, and I see a lot of guys do it. And I'm like, do they think that's being a king, or do they think that makes them the man? Because
unless they just tired and you just you know
jumping
from somewhere.
No, you better have got off of work. You know what happens?
Yeah,
because
like
the moment your girl sees the guy with a car nice and he's he's driving while you sitting back, she's looking at him.
Yeah, you know.
And I've witnessed that. I'm like, wow, I feel sorry for that girl, because she don't even really like that guy. He's leaning back, he think he the man, but she looking at him inside of my car because
like he got a car.
She comparing those.
He got a car.
Buster.
He probably got a job.
Yeah. So men, if you're doing that, just know you're on your way out the door. Eventually, when she finds a guy with a salary.
Yeah.
right.
But my thing is, man don't work, man don't eat. You don't work, you don't eat. So.
But what if he's a stay-home dad and fixes the yard, the house, the children?
So that's different. Now, I've had a girlfriend where he stayed home. He had a knee injury. He stayed home, took care of the kids. She went to work in college, like all through. She got a master's degree. He stayed home. The kids was fed, PTA meetings, basketball games. Clothes were ironed. So that's a different scenario. She came home, ate, took a shower, kissed kids, boom.
And they can pay all their bills?
Yeah, bills was paid.
I'm looking for her.
But that was no. They're married.
Ain't happening.
Yeah, they're married. Yeah. So when it's things like that, because there's not a problem for the man staying home, because I've seen a lot of people do it where I'm sorry?
This is mine.
Yes.
Oh, yes. A man will stay home and you know the wife will go to college. Then the wife will work and he'll go to school. Yeah. I've seen couples like that.
That's a great couple.
That's great couples.
That's power couple.
Yeah. Because it'll be like, oh, well, it's my turn. We just had a guy that left the guidance center. And he was like, yeah, I got accepted into a doctor program. He's like, so I'm just going to do the doctor program. You know, he quit. And his wife is working now.
Right.
So she'll take care of, the household while he goes to school.
That's a healthy balance.
Yeah, that's a healthy balance.
I have a question for you ladies. If you're a male and you have things going on in your life together, you know, your school and all that's done, are you supposed to feel bad for only wanting a girl that's just like that and not waiting for somebody to build themselves up? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because me, I'm at the point where, you know, I don't, you know, it's kind of hard to wait for somebody 4 or 5 years to get their life together.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
First and foremost,
It's just a question. It's
first
just a
and
question.
foremost, if you're looking to meet your equal,
Yes.
you're never gonna find them.
Really?
You're never gonna find them.
Explain, please.
You're never gonna find them because we're here to help one another and elevate one another.
Mm-hmm.
You might find someone who has the ambition and the desire,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes they need that push, that effort,
Mm-hmm.
like someone probably gave you. What made you climb?
Growing up in a bad neighborhood,
But what really made you climb?
not
That-
wanting to go,
before-
not a woman or nothing like
Before or
that.
after your daughter?
I want to provide a great example for her.
So your daughter, like,
Yeah, my daughter's my motivation. Yeah,
right.
I want her to be able to say, all right, my dad did this now, I got to do this.
Right.
Like, she already has the standard of she has to go to college.
Now, was that while you had the relationship with the mother?
No.
It was after she was born.
After, yeah.
Somebody motivated you,
My parents.
but somebody motivated you. Somebody took the initiative and said, you know, you should really do this, this, and this. Let me inspire you. Let me encourage you. Let me keep pushing you.
Sharon will help my kid.
I'm trying to think about that.
Look,
That's
I ain't got
No,
time.
honestly, I'm a self-motivated person. I never really needed I just needed encouragement
You're
from
going
my
to think
parents.
about this later and you're going to be like, damn.
Outside of my parents, I can't really name nobody that motivated me to do anything.
There's-
As in a relationship wise?
Not even in a
She's
relationship.
talking about life.
Just in life.
Oh,
There's,
yeah,
There's
yeah.
always a mentor that you had that ignited that spark.
I
I
had
can say
several.
my parents, and I can look at just the neighborhood I grew up in. I just like
There might be-
I didn't want to be like everybody else. Other than that, like yeah, we had mentors and things, but it wasn't like nobody specific like taking me under the wing or nothing.
But you had multiple mentors
Yeah,
along
coach,
the
football
way.
coaches,
right, along the
basketball
way.
coaches,
They
yes,
inspired
along
you
my
to do
father.
more.
And I've had
Yeah,
people
yeah.
that actually didn't even inspire me, that actually like kind of tore me down, which pushed me further.
Right.
I think that
So-
was my more.
Yeah, more
Now,
my motivation
I think
was
I
people.
got motivated.
You had haters to
motivated
push you
because
around.
it wasn't even haters. It's just like you just not expected to do much.
Well, yeah, because I
You
had
know.
one professor, and I was the only black one in the class, and she kept constantly saying that I didn't take History 1, and I'm going to have a difficult time, and I mean, like, just basically degrading me in front of the whole class. So I bust my ass, and, I got an A. So it's
Right.
people like that that really motivate me.
Right.
Like, the cheering squad is cool, my mom, my sister,
Yeah.
But
Right.
it's those people that say, watch, I'm going to show you.
Yeah, I had someone tell me I was going to work at McDonald's, and I still remember that. Like, I still remember that from high school. I'm like, no, I'm not.
But it pushed
And I've
you
never
along,
worked that-
it pushed
yeah.
you along the way.
Yeah.
So when you finally got to where you are, that you feel comfortable with your life, right now you got a balance,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Are you looking, or have you found that person that has that same balance that you have?
Female-wise.
No. No.
Have you been interested in females that haven't been your equal, but you look at them and see the potential, be like,
Yeah.
chemistry-
That's why I asked that question.
that chemistry's
So,
there.
Yeah.
does it have to be a certain point that they're at? Like, for me, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know. But I just can't, like, oh, okay, well, I'm working at McDonald's. I have all this potential. Well,
The girls
okay,
at McDonald's
congrats.
look good these days.
Well, that's
Wow.
I don't even eat at McDonald's, so I wouldn't know. So I wouldn't eat.
I don't judge a girl by her job.
I don't judge by the job, but
They get
it's
paid
just.
good. I know a couple McDonald's managers that are living in.
Oh
in
yeah,
nice
now if they're
houses.
manager,
Yeah,
I'm
manager,
talking
that's a
about
different story.
just on fries.
Wow.
Like, and they just want to do fries. Like, they ain't got no motivation
think-
to go to lobby or anything, grill. You know what I mean? They just on fries. Like, they just small fry up. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, okay, well,
You understand what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
don't
it's
want,
kind of like-
you don't want the guy at Burlington Coat Factory unloading the trucks.
But
Ain't
does
nothing
that?
wrong with him, but you don't want him because
But
where you're
yeah,
at.
yeah, and it's but you know what? Then again, it's like, but how much what is that? I don't know. Is that all you wanted? Like, where you want to see yourself in 5 years? And is the conversation? And most of it depends on the conversation I can have with you, the intellectual conversation. Now, if you got the intellect and the motivation to do, I always think you should just do more and better. I don't know. Like, some people are happy at that place.
Coming from a structure of, like you said, the fry and the college graduate, I'm a product of that.
Yeah, and so am I.
My mother bought and paid off her house, helped all 5 of her children buy their houses, bought their first cars, sent us all to college, did all that with that type of income and that type of setting.
But how did our can you explain to me? Because
But I
my
think
family
I-
did the same. My mom and dad same thing,
But
and
that
it
was
was
a
like
whole-
that was a whole nother
different-
change. And
right,
I'm like,
that was
how
a
in the
whole
world did they
different-
do
it was a
that?
whole different
And they
era.
lived underneath the same roof until they both took their last breath. So seeing that type of structure and understanding, because no matter what they went through, they worked it out.
Remember, that's a
They-
whole
And
different
it's-
generation.
I had the same structure. I had the same structure as your parents had growing up. My parents, it was at certain points in life where my mom probably made more money than my dad, but when it came down to certain decisions, his word was law.
law. That's how my
And
dad was. Yeah.
At first, I didn't understand, like, what's going on? But she had that type of respect for him to where it had nothing to do with that. Because she know he was one move away to being, so it's like.
And my
you
dad
know,
was even, it was, they were separated. We weren't living the same, but it was something, go on, ask your dad. Call your dad and ask your dad.
But
It
because
was
Yeah,
that.
yeah, there's
because
respect.
because of that respect and understanding that the man's decision is what's best for the family, because he's supposed to look a little bit further. He's a protector. He's going to protect. My parents. Don't get me wrong. They got in their battles. My dad would take his stuff, put it in the truck, and act like he leaving. Never went nowhere. You know what I mean?
He ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going that's we got to a certain age, we're like, well, they at it again. But, a couple hours later, he come back home, they pieced it up, and they bring us back down, and they would discuss it. So, for us, communication was huge. We were allowed to have opinions in our household. We were allowed to sit down and hash things out, because that was the gear of understanding. Like my mom said, communication will make you understand everything. But if you don't communicate, how are you going to grow? How are you going to learn? What are you going to know? You're not going to know anything, because you're not even going to have the experience to back it up.
Well,
So
communicating about.
they can. All
right, going back to dealing, somebody that's the fry cook as opposed to the college graduate. I don't know. I don't know.
My
Hold on.
dad had an 8th grade education. My mother
But that's
went
a different
No,
time.
let me-
No,
let me
no
bring
matter.
this- let me-
There's still people out there today that still
But what
function.
what kind of motivation there are some people that have an 8th grade education that can build an empire, but there are some people with that 8th grade education that will just
Well, I'm gonna tell you this.
be on the fries.
I learned over the years. I had girls pass up on me because I was working at Target. They not knowing what I was going to end up doing. So you do got to be careful with
Right.
skipping on the fry
Stop-
guy.
Well, but-
because
looking
when I was
okay,
working-
looking at the cover.
I was a college graduate.
How old
I
are
had
you?
2 degrees.
And how old were you?
25.
Okay.
But
But
stop
I had
looking
2
at-
degrees. That Target wasn't my last stop, but I had people that couldn't
Oh,
see
here we
that.
go.
We're 45. I'm 45.
What does that mean?
So if he's 45.
Oh Lord, here we go.
But he could go get his degree.
Stop looking at
He
the.
can finish his degree and be done by 47.
And it don't matter. There's people out there who
49
get
or
49. Yes, and that's
but
true.
there's also people out there with no education who are billionaires today.
Oh yeah, and that's what I said.
But
That's
we
why
tend
I
not to
said.
run into those people.
Yeah, we tend
No, you tend to run into them, but you wouldn't
But-
know it
You
because
wouldn't
you just judging it
But-
from the cover.
You're
But
right. You're right.
this is what I'm saying. I know what it takes. I sacrificed a lot to get my education. Am I willing to be with somebody
That's that ego
and have
shit.
that sacrifice?
That's
no,
that ego.
It's not the ego. It's the point of I want somebody to the point where we're going on vacation together. Not you got to study or you got class. Or
I
you
get
got,
it.
You know what I'm
'Cause
saying?
it took
I
me-
sacrificed.
It took me about
School.
5.5 years to finish
Yeah, school. I
so-
was 8 years, and when I say my dad was in the hospital dying, and I had to go take a final.
Yeah, I
Like
get it.
stuff like that, it's like, do I want to deal with
That's
all
why I
that?
asked you that
And
question.
it's kind of like, do I just want somebody that's at that point where they're talking retirement? We're like, okay, in 10 more years.
She 45, but she really 65.
No, in 10 years, I want to stop working full time.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? For the man.
In 10 years?
In 10 years, I want to stop working for the man.
Me too.
I want to be, my own, and I want to work part-time doing stuff, work, smarter, not harder. So it's like, I want somebody on that same page as me. We're like, okay, in 10 years, I can maybe cut down on working so much. We can go on vacations. We can enjoy life. And that's what I want to do, enjoy life. I sacrificed 8 years. And when I say I sacrificed, that was a sacrifice. Like a lot of people don't really know what I sacrificed.
I completely understand.
So it's like I'm not trying to go back to people talk PhD. I don't want to do all that. I want to enjoy. This is my moment to enjoy my life, to reap the fruits of my labor. So now's the time for me to just enjoy. I start my practice, build on that, and sometimes it's not always about working. Sometimes you work yourself into an early grave and die and not even enjoy your life.
Right.
So it's kind of like, I don't want.
What you doing now?
No, that's stopping, honey.
But the thing is
Honey?
we do have to work nonstop because it's not.
I've had to
Nobody
learn.
gonna give you nothing. Now.
No.
Yeah, but I've had to learn at a certain point, and I think this is what we do a lot as when black professionals will do this a lot too, because we've been at that point where we've always had to work 10 times harder than the average person. Somebody of another complexion can sit there and they can do third of the work. And, they're okay. They get away with it. We do maybe 90% of work, and they'll be like, why didn't you do the other 10%? So we always have had to work harder and harder and more.
But we're not thinking smarter, because if you have multiple lines of income, you really don't have that pressure.
No, yeah, if you have your own.
Not even. Not even.
Tell her to come into the social service field.
But
It's
that is your choice. If you have multiple lines of income,
but
if you have multiple
but
lines
for
of
people,
income, those 40 hours are up. I'm out. Peace. Because guess what? If you lose that one, you got 6 more.
But when you've
in.
been trained for so long, and it's been a part of me where it's been through school, where I've been told you're not going to get to this point in life. College, I've always been picked on. You haven't done this, and you can't do this, and you don't know this. So it's just almost embedded into you to work hard. Like you have to prove I am great because of the color of my skin. I have to break my back 20 times harder than somebody that just sits in the chair and does half the work. And for some reason, it's just not enough. But then you have to get to that point. I've gotten to that point and like to say, you know what? I earned it. And I don't have to prove anything to anybody anymore. I have my master's, I have my license, get another. I'm done. Done proving. If you don't believe it, then oh well. If you don't believe I can reach it, then there's nothing else I can tell you.
Like I told you before we even started, I completely agree with you. Being in the social services field myself, it's rare that I run into a man my age. Or even in my age range.
A black man in your age range, yeah.
I don't even run into... All the men that I run across are already 50, on their way out the door. I don't run into any 20-year-olds. I don't run into any black 30-year-olds. Maybe the guy's 40 or 50. Everybody I pretty much work with is pretty much older. And like I said, even me, speaking at Rutgers, School of Public Health in New Brunswick, speaking at all these schools, high schools, this and that. And like I said, I can't even get a job at Rutgers.
Yeah.
So I got to work. I got to keep on going until a door breakthrough, because at the end of the day, there's no older men that's going to usher me in nowhere. And
it's almost like
I have to build my own name up, and it's like I don't know the steps. I'm just filling it out as it goes.
And you see people that break into it, and you're like, how in the world did they? And a lot of times it all has to do with how we were born. And no matter how hard you work, and sometimes we just have to say it and accept it, to say, no matter how hard I work, no matter what I do, you are still, I could get 18 PhDs and you will still always find some reason why I'm not doing it correct. So you just have to come to that acceptance in life to say, listen, I know how great I am, and I know my worth and my skill. So I'm not going to run myself into an early grave for the man.
And to go back to your question from earlier, it is certain things that did motivate me as a young black man. you know, people saying I have dreadlocks. People saying, you know,
Locks.
I remember in locks.
I don't call them dreadlocks.
Well, I let them rock for 4 months at a time sometimes, so I get my dreadlocks.
Also, then they get
sometimes. But you just threw me off. Nah, but like I said, people told me that I couldn't get a job with locks, and even in my field, like when I walk into a room, people were looking like, is he even supposed to be here? And
But sometimes those situations that you're in, it's pushing you outside your comfort zone, because you can't just think of Jersey.
well, I was in
There's-
Virginia when I was told this.
But what I'm saying, there's multiple places you can take your degree and make something out of it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
So
but
if
that's
you-
still
if-
that stereotype is a lot of places. It's not just Jersey.
Right.
In the professional realm?
That's what I'm saying. If you're just limiting yourself to here, and that's all you're basing it on here.
But it's
No,
not.
I'm not
I'm telling you,
basing it
it's
on
not. It's not. There's
okay,
so
how far out did
many.
you go? How far out did you go?
But
Virginia,
if
and where
you
else?
talk, if
California.
I have people like I belong to a couple groups for therapists groups, black therapist groups, and these people are from California, Virginia, Nevada. I got one from Europe.
I have a
And
friend who's a
that's-
professor of MIT, and he's a black man with dreads.
But
But
professor.
it's still rare though.
It's
That's
very
all
rare.
I'm saying. I'm not
It's
saying
not, and it's not rare.
it's-
It's just what we face. It's like certain agencies, and it's not just Jersey.
Yeah.
I speak to
No.
a lot of different black women with locks. They have, bald heads. They have my
Right.
low haircut, and they still face that discrimination.
discriminated.
It doesn't matter if we're just in Jersey. It's all over. We face that discrimination. We walk into a room. Either you're an angry black man or I'm an angry black woman. It doesn't matter. It's all over. It's not just here.
It does matter, because our ancestors fought for us to be where we are today.
And that is true.
And if we keep that mind frame of that limitation, we are stopping our
Well, we don't
own-
know. We don't stop. We don't limit ourselves because I'm not putting a perm in my hair. That's an absolute no.
But I'm saying in a career sense. My mother was the first Latina in Rutgers to do nutrition in there.
Yeah.
The first one. She even went to the White House when Clinton was president because she was the first one. She didn't let them stop her.
But it's
She-
not. It's not stopping. It's just what we're just talking about.
the ethics
The
behind
what we
it.
face.
Right.
Things that we face. Because it's definitely not stopped me. Like I'm good.
Right.
Like, I'm good.
But I've seen, I've been exposed to different things. My father was born in 1917, was locked up because of his skin color. I'm the lightest one in my family. I understand and the first and core thing they taught me, and you even know this, I was in grade school with you. Be you.
Yes.
Forget about what everybody else says.
And-
you are you. You're your own individual, and that is going to open doors for you. Be you. Never let anybody put a race, a color, or a creed, anything on you, because that's not who you are.
And that's
We
true.
gave you a
And
name.
I don't, because if that's the case, I would have been permed my hair.
Right.
Yeah, like, I would have been put a perm in my
But
hair.
we gave
But
you a
it's
name.
just, what we, like, a lot of, like, it's a black therapist group, and a lot of therapists say, especially a lot of black therapists say they got into private practice because a lot of times they would go into interviews and they've got, they're natural, they got locks, and it's kind of like, man, I should have kind of got this job, but I kind of felt some kind of way when they looked at me because of, my hair or because of my skin tone. So a lot of them go into a private practice where they ain't got to worry about all that. Like,
Right.
I'm my own boss, so I don't have to fool with you.
But those situations thicken you so you can go out on your own practice. That's what you're truly meant to be. That path that you're on, that you're going against the grain, that resistance telling you that's not for you. That was not meant
yeah.
for you. You're supposed to make that left, but you want that right because you want to prove something to somebody. So guess what? Now you're working yourself doubly.
Well, there's
and not
certain steps you
proving
have to
anything.
take to get to having your private practice. I had no choice but to,
But-
and I still can't even,
But not
at
even,
this point.
I'm just using you as example, but there's many of things that us as a culture, as being who we are, can accomplish, but we limit ourselves because we got to prove something to somebody. We got to do something completely different. That's not what it was meant for you. It's not. So, my parents taught me that at a very early age. Just go to, if it's too difficult to on the right, it's because you're supposed to go to the left. Take a couple steps back and go to the left. See what happens. You know what I mean? Because then that left might be that path of bliss. might be that ball rolling for you to be that whoever it is that you truly have in your higher self to be.
And it's not that you failed, it's just you learned 1,000 ways not to do it.
Right, right.
That's
But
all.
you're
Yeah.
supposed to
You just
enjoy
learned
the
1,000
journey
ways
in
not to do
abundance
it.
and get where it is that you need to be. You think this is something you stumbled on? No, this isn't something you stumbled on. This is something that's supposed to break the cycle of that mentality of breaking outside the box. The box is what we're going to get buried in, not live in. I know.
She punching
We're not supposed to be living in that box. We die in that box. And if you're not open-minded enough, you're gonna lose a lot of opportunities. Have the greatest life possible because you're thinking, oh, I gotta prove this and I gotta work these hours and I got, you're holding yourself back because of what?
Just to follow up on your point, I feel like that's, we've been talking about men, women, how women are, climbing during this time. That's what's going on with our black men. We're trying to prove all the wrong things. We're not
Right.
headed in the right direction.
Right.
We're not doing community programs. We are going to college, but you don't see the effect in
Right.
the communities.
Right.
Because I went to a historically black college, so I know a lot of black men that went to college. But, depending on what community or area you're from, it may look different. But as far as black men, like I said, I always try to challenge them to do better because, like I said, in social services, where that's a field where we do have a chance to change life in the hood or the bad neighborhood.
Right.
We're not there, so our opinions don't count.
Right.
And that's all I'm trying to say is I'm there and I can make some change because I come from the environment.
Right.
But they're
can be
listening
relatable.
because they know I know.
Right.
But other than that, if I wasn't in the room, the black man's opinion won't matter if we're not there.
It doesn't count.
It
Exactly.
doesn't count
It
if
doesn't
we're
count.
not there. And I'm saying, like, I know that I'm on the younger side of my field, but and then
Which is
there's
a
older
beautiful
guys.
thing.
Yeah, and it's older guys, but there's nothing in between that's sustaining. Like, you got to think about it. You asked me, was there a fatherhood program in Cumberland?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it should be fatherhood programs in every county.
And
that's
every urban.
Every urban, but it's not. So
Right.
it's just like we're doing something wrong. We're just I think a lot of us are giving up at this point.
I think a lot of it is based on ego and trying to be quien es más macho, so to speak.
Yes, yes.
You know what I'm saying? And you can't be that way because if you think about it, the reason why those relationships worked back then and they don't work now, because men were able to go into a bedroom with their partner, close the door, and compromise.
Yes.
And when they compromise, now the woman's going to back them up. But if you're not going to compromise and say this is what it is and this is it and that's it, there's no compromise. It's now okay. Wait till your father leaves, then you can go. Now it's building that second.
And that's something we do talk about. Working with your co-parent, you
Right.
have to compromise and be consistent. And if you don't compromise, you're definitely
You're gonna
run
fail.
into a problem every time.
You're gonna fail.
Yeah, that's what I learned to do. Sometimes you just gotta learn to, it's not about winning every battle. It's just not. It's
No,
just
and
not.
evenly yoked doesn't mean financially you're evenly yoked. It means that mentally you're evenly yoked. You can logically have that conversation with somebody. It doesn't matter what social class you came from because you break the cycle along the way. But if you're not willing to break that cycle, it's going to be continuous. It's going to be continuous. And that's the sad part. Fatherhood is extremely important, especially in 2018.
Yes.
Women are standing up to take the roles of the father because the fathers are gone. They're running the streets.
Yeah.
They got side chicks. They got this. They got that. They're bringing drama to their households without even realizing they're bringing the drama, and then want to blame it on the female. Oh, because you nag too much. Oh, because the house is dirty. Because this and this and that. But realistically speaking, take a step back and look what men do.
Because and as daughters, I know fathers are extreme. A lot of men think that boys are important. Fathers are important to boys, but fathers are really super important to girls.
Right.
So me and my dad, I think I was closer. I mean, I love my mom, I love her, but I think I was closer to my dad than my mom. Actually, yeah, I think I was closer to my dad than my mom, and it was just that was the most important relationship I've ever had in my life. So
yin
and
to
I
the
was
yang.
like-
That's your first example of what a man's supposed
what's
to be.
supposed to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And they had their little issues. My dad had his issues, but it wasn't to the where it destroyed our family.
Right.
Or where he, was to the point where my mother, when they got old and they wanted to act crazy, when it was like 60 something, then I can't stand your daddy. I said, whatever. And then I ain't talking to her no more. She hang up on her.
You be like, that's
and then,
you. But
and
I'm
then she
calling
called
my
him
daddy.
back, Henry. And I said, gross. Like, ew, crazy. But, it's like, that's very important to a girl to say, this is how I'm supposed, my dad never even hit us, me and my sister, because he didn't want us to grow up thinking it was okay for a man to touch us, hit us. Of course,
Your dad was nice. I was shocked. My dad.
Now, if he had a boy now, it'd probably been a different
my
story,
dad
but.
can't be nice and smooth as
Yes.
that.
Oh yeah, you're a boy, yeah. But as a girl, and I still didn't make those choices. But when I made bad choices in relationships, I always think back and say, "Oh my God, my dad would be so ashamed." And I would think that my dad would be ashamed of me.
That's what I was saying earlier, because you knew better.
You knew better.
You just wanted to
You
live
wanted
on
to
the
do
edge
your
a
own
little bit.
thing. Yeah, like my dad would say, Squirt. He used to call me Squirt. Because everybody wants to call me that, and that's not for everybody to call me. And he,
But she put it on live radio.
There's only like a couple people that know that.
Not no more.
But I would sit there and be like, oh my God, my dad would be so ashamed of me. Like, there's a lot of guys that never brought around my dad because I already knew.
Exactly.
Not
That's me. Is he the football player or he got the most swag on
Yeah,
I already know. Yeah, I might not like him from the. We might
just from just looking at him, yeah.
I might know his parents and everything. Like he got too much swag. He cooler than me.
He ain't about nothing. Just look at you.
I said, if you like him, 50 other girls like him too. Don't be fooled.
Right.
But this has been so. We always say we wanted a man on the show to get a man's perspective of things.
Right.
Oh, did I make history today?
Yes.
Oh.
Has he been the only man on here?
I gotta think.
All right, well,
I
even
think
if I'm the
so,
second
yeah.
man or the third, I'm in the top 3.
You're the top 3. Right.
Has he? Yeah, he's been the only man on. No, Jason. We had Jason talking about finances.
I think it's good to have
A male's perspective,
and that's what we
this
that's
has
what
been
we
like
do.
a very
That's what we
engaging
do.
conversation.
That's what we do during our classes. And say if we're a couple talking to another couple just like this, you be like, oh well, that's an interesting perspective. Well, maybe we need to try this and that.
Right.
And even when there's a circle of men, I don't proclaim to be the
Guru
expert that
of
knows
every-
everything, because Lord, I done had so many issues in my life. But it's good. I facilitate it, and then I have men that are older than me that have children older than me, so they don't want to hear me say, be a father like this. No, they, I show them how to be mentors to other kids in the community, because I feel like as a man, it's still our responsibility. Mm-hmm. Like in the African tribe days, you got to take care of the kids, whether the dad is locked up.
Right.
If you got 5 kids, dad at least try to help.
Help.
Yeah, because they still
It
going to
takes
be
a village.
They still going to be a citizen in your community, and
Right.
People
And
don't
even
forget that.
with women, we have to,
I think women are empowered. I think women are.
we're amazing.
Yeah, right now, like women
He
are.
said-
No, I'm just saying, like.
You know where you're sitting right now?
No,
there
I'm
ain't
not-
no way
no.
out but by
No,
us.
I'm not saying right
He said
now.
right now.
I'm not saying right now. I'm just never paid attention to it. Like before I got into social service, I never paid attention. I was just worried about my goals.
Right.
It wasn't about the overall. Maybe I was too immature, but was not thinking about women and.
Well, women, we've been empowered a very long time.
Okay.
Because we bring in the children. We nurture you guys to be strong enough to do what it is that
Yeah,
you
you're
need
right.
to
You're
do.
right. You're right.
I'm pretty sure you call your mom to this day, Ma.
Yeah.
What about this girl? You know
Nah,
what I mean?
Oh, and mom says no. It's
It's a wrap,
it's a
right?
wrap.
I didn't listen
Yeah.
to her too many times. I'm like, maybe I need to start listening to mom, because she told me
She
about
sees
her.
a lot more.
She told me about her, and it's just like,
She sees a lot more than you think.
yeah.
But
If I bring you home and mom don't like you, there's a good chance that is.
See, it was my dad. Like, my mom usually likes the men.
And that's moving forward. It's like my mom. Well, I don't know. It depends.
My mom didn't like the men.
Yeah.
My mom liked it if they cooked it. Once they said they're gonna cook for her, that was a wrap.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
learning. We gotta start listening to our parents because there's nothing I wouldn't tell my daughter
Right.
that I knew. Like, but we don't think about it. Then.
Yeah, I
like,
think my mom's just older now. She just
Yeah,
don't. She's
I would never. I would never tell my daughter nothing that is in her. I'm telling her what's in her best interest. I'm like, that boy. If I see him,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Growing up, yeah.
you
Nowadays,
be thinking your parents just hating, like, oh,
yeah,
I just don't
you
wanna
hate
see-
hell.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
hell.
yeah.
You had your fun. You want me to have my fun. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And then you realize, no, they just don't want me
They-
hurt.
They
No,
sensed some. They smelt it.
Nah,
They
no,
smelled
sometimes we tend to forget, especially us that have parents together. We forget our parents were single and dated other
Yeah,
people
and we're young.
had a life. And
Yeah.
we
And
forget,
they've lived
don't-
longer than we
don't
did,
Even, we
and,
don't
you
even
know,
think,
they-
yeah, we don't think about that.
Yeah. Now I don't trust my mom's. She's 74, and she just want to eat. Like any man that I bring home, and he said he gonna
As long
feed
as
her.
you hear that,
Yeah,
America?
she's
As long as
old.
you cook for her mom, you got her.
Yeah, she's it. Like I broke up with people, and she'd be like, and I'd be like, oh, me and so and so broke up. Why? What did you do to him? And I'm like,
Because
really? She's like,
parents know their children.
yeah, because she like, you can be nasty sometimes. You can be really mean. I'm like, you know, I'm your daughter, right? You're supposed to be on my side. You understand this, right?
Nah.
You know. And sometimes I don't even tell my mom if they did something jacked up. I just be like, we just broke
It
up.
wasn't working.
Yeah, because then it hurts her more than it does me, I think. Yeah. Because she'll still call my exes. She'll be wanting to, can I call someone? I miss him.
I don't know. I
He
think the
changed
last
his
5
number.
years I've just been focused on my career.
I think
Well,
now
I'm not. I haven't been worried about.
do you find it more weird? We're going to be here till 8 o'clock.
Seven.
Do you
Because
find
we're an hour over. We're
Oh,
half
we
hour
are?
over.
Wow.
But the next
Okay,
show doesn't come
wait a
until
minute.
later.
Do you find it dating now? I don't know. Dating.
It's kind of like worthless these days. It's just like.
Why is it worth
Because
it?
as soon as you messed up, your girl on somebody's Facebook. It's just
She ain't
bad.
even mourning,
Yeah,
right?
it's just bad. It's just bad. They not even tripping about you no more. It's just bad. You like, hold up, because you know I ain't that old, but I came up when it wasn't no
Social
social
network.
media. So
Social
man,
media.
we kind of got off on that. Like she gonna call back. She's sitting at home wondering, thinking,
We eating ice
wonder what
cream,
he
crying.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's just like.
Okay.
Oh, Tremaine got his shirt off on. And he live right around the corner. Yep. And
Yeah.
that might make a girl feel better or make the boy jealous. But men, we thinking the same thing. It's like, it's another girl in another county that look just like you.
you.
I see that. So you're not as valuable as you would have been before
Yeah.
social media.
Media, yeah, it seems
So that's
like-
what's going on now. It's like, oh, I got dreads, but it's about 3 dudes in Cumberland County got dreads
And
like
a
you.
beard.
There's another boy
And
in
a whole beard.
there's a boy in Camden that look like you. So our value is kind of like it's kind of lessened these days. And then it's like a day like you
Everybody's disposable.
Yeah, everybody's
Very-
just.
it's
I remember
very
like breaking
disposable.
up and
Very
you were
disposable.
hurt. Like you broke up with somebody, you was
Yeah,
hurt.
yeah.
You was on the couch with a bucket of ice cream, just eating with the spoon and you
Look,
crying.
these days you might be down.
And-
somebody hit you up in your inbox. Bing, you like, oh, I'm back in the
Soon as
game.
you-
You're like, oh, yeah.
As
You're
soon as
like,
you
oh.
say, "Oh, we over," beep beep beep, like, "Hey, girl, I gotta date."
And then women have more options because men tend to, chase the women. They're in y'all's inboxes and things like that. Men, we be scared because we get rejected and all that. But women have a lot of women have a lot of options these days. They can do whatever they want. They be like, oh, you mad at me? I'm gonna post this picture and get 100 likes and get you mad. It's just terrible. So it's like I'm gonna focus on my career.
It's a whole nother world.
I'm gonna focus on my career, and when I find a woman that's smart like DJ Khaled, when she's smart enough to see that
Your value.
I'm doing what I gotta do, and if I'm doing what I gotta do, and if you with me, I'm gonna carry you with me.
And we
gonna do it.
Power couple.
Yeah, we gonna
Power
do it.
couple this.
Other than that, I ain't settling down for nothing, cause like I said, everything is disposable. Like you be like, hey, you can go online, and be like, hey, I want somebody 34 today. You gonna find a 34-year-old?
Yeah.
Oh, I want somebody 40. 40.
Yeah, the whole
it's just
online,
bad.
It's like online shopping.
it's
it's
bad.
kind of
It's
started
bad.
to be disgusting a little bit more. I
It's bad.
stopped doing it for a while because it just was like, ugh.
You
Like,
said it's hard to be disgusting?
no,
No,
it's
she
the
is.
online
She's
dating.
disgusted.
Yeah, it's a little like, ugh. So I stopped doing it for a while.
Nah,
I
but
was
it's
going there.
some cool people.
It's
like,
some,
I
and
ran
yeah,
into some
I ran
cool
into
girls
some
out here
really
in the
nice
world, yeah.
people. But then it's almost like, okay, that doesn't work. But then you meet, it's like you meet that one person I like. You got to fish through like 999 disgusting people, and you're like,
Well,
oh,
sometimes
this is
maybe that's what it takes.
just gross. Like sometimes you just give up and you say, you know what, ilk. If this, you got 5 kids, 4 baby mamas, and no, like no.
Oh, all right. Well, but how do y'all feel about dating women with multiple children and multiple fathers? That's a very.
I don't
that's
date
a
women
very,
with multiple
No,
children.
I can ask.
I don't date
I
women
can-
with multiple
I-
children. multiple
Is
fathers.
there what's your view on that? When a woman has
It depends on
2 kids, 2 fathers, or 3 kids, 3.
A
It's all
possible.
kind of
No, a
combinations.
possible.
Yes, 2 kids,
three and a
2
possible.
kids,
Impossible.
1 by 1, 1 by 2. Like,
I ain't been on more yet.
Like, are you like as a man? Do women just expect men to be just overlook all that and just?
It
be like,
depends on the man. It really depends on the person.
But would a girl get mad if he is like, I ain't dealing with that?
They shouldn't, because you know what? A man shouldn't get mad if I don't want to deal with you and you have 4. What was it? 4 kids, 5 kids, and 4 baby moms.
Oh, you had that situation?
He had twins. I didn't. Wait.
You had that situation?
We had a conversation, and when he said that was done. I didn't trust him. Believe me, that's not even a date, honey. No, you get a
That's drama.
Yeah, I'll call it. Yeah, put my number, lock it in. I sure will. Do not answer. Yeah, no. So a woman can't get mad at a man
If he chooses that.
if he chooses not to do. Yeah, because I
Because
don't.
there's a lot of that.
I don't wanna
It's
deal
hard
with-
to find a woman with 1 kid.
Or,
and
yeah.
Just her and that kid, or no kids, or all her kids by 1 man. Now that's easier to deal with when.
If
she has multiple, and then 1 man, yeah, that's
understandable.
yeah.
But then it's I don't
It's
run
like
into some
5
weird,
with 6
weird
possible.
combinations, and it's just like if I walk away in my
5
bad,
with a 6 pot. She ain't go to war yet.
if I walk away in my
She on
bad
her way.
person or my shallow, walking
No,
away from
because
that.
that's your choice.
It's your choice. It's your preference of what you want to
Because
do
it's like,
with.
what if I want to have a kid? Now I'm like 5, like 4, or 3. I don't want to be 3rd and I got a hole because this man, and he was there, he been around since 93. And, like, nah, that's crazy. Like, nah, he been around through all your prominent years. I'm just some guy that just came along.
picking up the
You
slack.
here.
Yeah,
Picking up
yeah.
He looking at you like you just here.
Yeah,
You just got here. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I personally, and I find it hard a lot of times. Sometimes if like I date a man and they want children, like that's not gonna happen. No. So it's either like I'm kind of.
What about adoption?
No.
Or what about that?
Unless it's 4-legged.
What about taking the egg out and putting the
Oh
sperm
no, I don't
out?
like doing all that.
Why?
I don't even want kids. I don't want kids.
Oh, all right, there we go.
Yeah.
There's-
I just don't even want kids.
I know. I know. I at least try to have a son one day.
Yeah. So we wouldn't work. No, we wouldn't work.
I need a son one
Yeah,
day.
I would tell you go get it somewhere else, but you can go get somebody else
Until the
pregnant.
complications come.
What?
What?
If y'all being honest, it works.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I just
yeah,
no, and
if
I'm
she
very
gives you the okay, every man's going for real.
yeah, and I'm very honest with that. I don't want children. I have none. I can get a dog.
I don't know. I think
Like we get a puppy
I think
together.
children is it's a beautiful thing.
They're beautiful.
Because you never know what they're going to become,
Yeah.
especially if you're doing it, raising them right.
They beautiful to other people. But just
Not for
No, being a father, it really changed me a lot having a daughter. Like, just like I played football in high school, college, all that, and just having to turn it down to go to cheerleading events and
little daughter dances
it's like,
and little.
it's like it changes you, and it's just like, all right, I'm not sure if all men think like this, but I'm like, I want my daughter to be better than me. Period. Like,
That's all parents.
I want her to go after
All parents
God.
shit.
I want her, like, I brought her to my office just to show, like, your dad has an office.
This is what you. This
Yeah,
is
I'm
the
raising your
standard.
expectation level. My parents worked in the casino, so I admired my parents, but the casino, it was the locker room and where they worked.
And I think
but
every
an
parent.
office, I feel like my parents put me in position. They worked hard so I can have this.
Right.
And it's like, well, if I got my office right now, daughter, you got a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah.
You got to be a lawyer or something. You can't be with daddy. You got to be higher than daddy.
You gotta own all
Look,
this.
you got a president of the United
And,
States.
and
That's
hopefully
it.
by the
That's all
time
you're
she's
gonna
old
be.
enough, I'll be done built my name up to the point to where she can be like the other spoiled kids out here in the world. Like, oh, my daddy's this person.
Yeah.
I got the my, no offense to my dad. I got to do it. I got to do it on my own. But he laid the foundation for me to do it. So
and I think that's
I do
every
appreciate
parent.
that.
Parents work and they want their children to be better than they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's I think it's almost every parent. Should be every parent. I know it was
Right.
mine. You know, they worked hard so you could be better. So you wouldn't have to work as hard as they did.
But one thing I do have to say to parents that I do notice, we do work so hard, and I know a lot of fathers that we don't tend to take time to identify our kids' talents, their wants, their needs, being sure what type of life skills they know and have.
Yeah.
A lot of people, you can raise your kid. You know, that's why I see people like, oh, I worked hard, I put food in the house, but you ain't teach them nothing else.
Because
That's
I-
it.
Yeah,
You just
that's
worked
like,
hard.
You
You
worked
worked,
hard,
you
you
paid
paid
your
for it.
bills.
That don't do it.
Because
You
they
didn't teach
think
them no life skills.
If I worked at a factory, Cumberland County is known as factory workers.
Mm-hmm.
I worked in this factory. My son's gonna work in this factory.
Mm-hmm.
They're not breaking that cycle or sitting their kid down and saying, you know what, this is what we need to do. But the parents aren't even showing up for PTA.
No.
Parents aren't even showing up for programs.
Parents, they're not even knowing, like, you know, we're all black, so most of our kids come out with some type of athletic, not not the stereotype, but that's kind of how it is. But we're not identifying their arts talent. They're like, you might have a kid that's talkative. That kid might be a lawyer and you don't know it. You might have a kid
motivational speaker.
Yeah, you might have a kid that's hype. Like, we're not every time I go to work with my adolescent fathers, it gets me so frustrated, and that's why I'm taking more initiative, because I was in the same boat at one time. Every young kid wants to be a rapper, an athlete, or make clothes, and I'll be like,
There's other things to do.
or possibly cut hair or construction. That's the only thing we know. If you go out and ask 10 kids, boys, this, ask them what they. You know, some you might catch a smart aleck. I want to be a neurosurgeon, but he's styling. He's not even going to college or nothing. But yeah, he not even applied for community college yet. But when you go and ask most boys, this is that's the only thing we know. And I know so many young guys that sell drugs. They don't know that they're pharmacists, chemists, they're chemists. They're engineers, marketers. They don't even know that these are tangible skills that is a job waiting for them, but we cut ourselves off at 21 with a felony or a juvenile.
Yeah.
We cut ourselves off, and most our black men do. We wait till we get the 20-year sentence to discover, like, oh, I'm better than Da Vinci. He's sending home letters and making
And artwork.
jewelry and all. Like, you know, you could have did that.
Right.
By the time it's done, it reaches no.
Yeah, you know, you could have became this entrepreneur
There was a guy.
person, but like I said, there's nothing
Nobody's
in our neighborhoods.
fostering that.
There's nothing in
No
our
one's,
neighborhoods that
you
it's like I said, everybody can be a football coach. And it's easy to be that because our kids come out the womb athletic, can jump, shoot. Like, run fast. The coaches that's out there not really coaching. They're giving the kids probably structure and life skills. But as black youth, we're already good at sports, but we don't have life skills.
Right.
We don't have, it's kids that don't even know how to go apply for a job.
There's kids who don't know how to read.
It's grown men.
The basics.
Oh, but they can rap a Cardi B song.
That's because we live in that pass everybody
But
through the school system generation.
There's a TED
Everybody
talk
passes.
of a young black man who was in Compton, went to jail, couldn't read. In jail, he taught himself how to read, and then he started hanging out. I think, cause I posted on our site. Then he turned around and learned how to do Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of him,
I seen that. The guy he's up in California.
Yeah.
I seen that.
So here's this man who was, slanging drugs, who was shooting up all kinds of stuff.
Perfect example.
Went and taught himself because guess what? He had no other distractions.
Yeah, no other distractions.
So he found a niche, and then he started teaching other guys in jail how to do the same thing he did.
Well, I think we needed to.
A lot of us have that same ability. Like me, honestly, I didn't know. When I was 24, 23, I didn't even think I'd be doing this. I had no clue. No, I never had a career.
I
goal.
didn't.
I never had a
You're
career.
33.
Honestly, like I was saying, like you were saying earlier, who motivated me? When I went to college, that's all I heard from my parents. You got to go to college. I didn't know what to be. I didn't know what was offered. I didn't know what you could become at the college. So year after year, I just went to college. I knew I wanted to do business. But even still, when I got to college, it was like I had nobody to, like, all right, go to get this corporate job, go do this, go
Or
do
work
that.
with your talents to
Yeah.
see what it was. that
I
you
didn't
wanted.
even know that I could do public speaking in front of thousands of people or hundreds of people like I do at times. So I didn't know what I could do until I just kept on testing my limits. I'm like, all right, I started off in Head Start. I'm like, oh, I like working with kids. And then I started doing behavioral assistant. I'm like, all right, kids, listen to me. They listen to me more than their parents. So I started doing that. Then I started doing behavioral assistant. I started doing other things, and it led me to where I'm at now. It's like,
And this ain't it.
huh?
And this ain't it.
No, this is not the end of the road. I'm
Right.
gonna keep on going and going because I'm like,
Yeah, I didn't know
never
you-
planned on working. I didn't even go to school for social services. I went to school for business. But my social services skills come from growing up in a bad neighborhood. Like
Right.
everybody I know had issues. We thought it was normal until I got older and realized this is what people go to school to study us.
Right.
Us people on TANF living in housing authority, this and that. That's when my passion, because I'm like, whoa, I work in social services. I don't see no brothers working in this. And then the white people
It's very
or
rare.
whoever,
Very rare.
white people, Caucasians that didn't grow up in urban communities, they're going to school to service these people, but they don't really know
They
how to
don't
service
understand.
them
Service them.
because
They don't
it's
really
like,
understand.
how do
Yeah.
you just don't. I mean,
can't
I don't
relate.
blame them.
You
It's
can't
just
relate.
that's like me going to the suburbs. I got to look around and see how everybody else carrying themselves, and I've caught myself in
And it's
uncomfortable situations
it's
where I had to
weird.
look and I'm like, well, I need to.
because
take
if you
this
see,
with my shirt or
if a
something.
black man comes in as is a social, oh my God, we just like, it's a black guy.
It's
Get
rare.
him,
It's
get
very
him. Yeah,
rare.
like you
It's very
snatch
You're a
him
unicorn.
really quick.
I'm a unicorn in this field that we're in. Like I said, it's not. I don't meet too many black men, and then young men my age, and no, I don't meet too many black men in position of power. Period.
Which is a beautiful thing.
It is for myself because that means there's room for me. But
Yeah.
as far as me getting there, I gotta work 10 times harder because there's no one there.
It's usually
And
always
then,
women.
And then typically the black men that are there, they ain't looking to bring you up because it was hard for them to get there, and they don't want you to take what they have. So.
And that's what's wrong with
that's
a lot
why
of,
that's
yeah.
why a lot of younger professional black men, we're like, I'm at this point I'm just going for it. I don't care who you
And
are.
black
where you're
women,
from.
we're more, and it depends on which black woman. I know me. I tell them at work, listen, I'm gonna teach you how to do my job because I'm not staying here forever. You're gonna take my place. You know, I'm not gonna be here forever. So I'm gonna teach you how to get. You know, even when I was a supervisor, and I would tell one of my staff, I'm teaching you how to do this, how to be in the position that I am in because one day you're gonna be a supervisor. So you might take my job because I'm gonna go up somewhere else.
And the funny thing about it, during my whole career, the people who have hired me and empowered me are women.
Women, it's
I've
usually
never been hired by a man. A black woman gave me my start. She didn't have to. Woman at Yap, a black woman gave me my start. So it's rare that we're, like I said, as black men, or especially, I can't speak in every industry, but social services, which pretty much deals with people,
But-
which
and I think
consider
that's
as
too
big,
because-
social services, there's not many black men
not many
representative,
black- not
representing
at
us
all.
at all.
So that teaches you that you have to be the one
Yes,
to turn around.
and that's why I'm working hard, and I got to work relentlessly because I know that I can be going quick.
Because that's why even when I say like with a lot of black boys get diagnosed with ADHD, which might be sometimes misrepresentative as PTSD, depending on. And sometimes it's like if I'm in a room full of Caucasian people, they look at me like I'm nuts, and I'm sitting here like God, I wish I had a black man here to kind of like back me up. That was that comes from an area where they've seen black boys
Well, I got
have, you know what I mean?
I got kicked out of pre-K when I was a kid. I had my behavior issues. I didn't graduate high school with the highest GPA at all. So, based on the system, yeah, they would count me out. Like, you know,
Yeah.
especially when you see a kid get kicked out of preschool.
You
they,
like,
they put you through the testing and all that. And, you know, I found out it's because I was bored ultimately. It was like, I was bored at school. It wasn't because I wasn't smart.
right.
It was because I was bored. I was bored. And even in high school, I was bored. And I regret that to this day because I'm like, man, I wish I would have had the 3-point something and all that. But, you know, that's why now. I learned in college.
It doesn't
my
matter.
GPA don't even matter because I can do my job better than someone that had a
I graduated with a 3.96. And nobody has ever on an application asked me what my GPA
What's your
was.
GPA?
No.
Ever. They said,
No.
did you graduate? Did you get your papers? Did you got your license? Okay, thank you.
And,
Never.
And the thing is, it's such a need for us in the social services field because you got to think about it. When I'm running these programs, when I'm recruiting, I got to go into these neighborhoods nobody else want to go to.
Oh, yes.
So, and it's just not me capable of doing this, but I'm trying to encourage more black men to get your credentials together. You know, I don't care if it's whether it's a trade school, college, whatever, but it's so many fields and it's things out here waiting for us, but we're not applying ourselves
To it,
to make it happen. And I see that's where women are doing. Women are going to, I don't even know what the letters are, but CNA, RN, RNA, they in school. So I applaud these girls because even if they're not going to college, they're going to get some type of something to secure themselves. And men, like, you know, construction is up and down, so we can't really even
Rely,
and plus we don't own no construction company, so we ain't the first pick. So it's like we have to really sit back and evaluate
I think
ourselves.
you really should get into something that's why it took me so long, I think, to get start back to school, because I didn't start back till I was like 33. Because I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I mean, I just went to college right after high school because that's what I was told I was supposed to do. Like, my sister went for social work right after high school, graduated, and okay, so that's what you're supposed to do.
I never, honestly,
And I never knew.
Outside of teachers, you know, you just think of them as teachers. You don't think of their education levels and all. Outside of teachers, I ain't really know nobody with a college degree, and I ain't know what it did for you. I'm like, well, everybody like, get a college degree. Well, I'm like, well, I don't know nobody with a college degree, and it's like,
I went for teaching because
like, what does it do? Like,
okay, teaching. My sister went for social work. I went for teaching. Then I changed it to architecture. Then I found out I had to do math, and I was like, okay, I don't like math, so I don't like architecture now. So I switched it back to teaching. Like, I really didn't know, and that's when I dropped out. So it was like, you know, and at some point, I just got tired of working myself to death at a job I hated every single day.
Man, that's the worst.
It's the worst feeling.
That's why I tell
world.
people to go to college. I'll be like, man,
it is the and not saying that, you know, my job now it's very difficult because I run 2 programs. It's a lot of work, but I enjoy doing it because this is what I love to do. But just going to the casino scrubbing floors every day was not like my dream job. And after 12 years of doing it, it was like I got to the point where it's like I would go in and say, I'd wake up and be like, do I want to hang myself or do I want to go to work? And I would be serious. And I'm sitting here like, this is the point. I would just cry. I hate going here. And I'm like, I got to do something different. And then that's when I just kind of decided, hey, it's time to go back to college. Like,
I remember having a degree working at Target, feeling like that's like, damn. Like, it was like, we gotta, like, something gotta break through.
Something's gotta give.
Oh, I'm hitting the streets. So something gotta break through. But, like, I stayed persistent and I believed in what the time I invested in to get my degree.
And what I said to myself was, I would never get a job that had nothing to do with social work. Like, it had to do something with social work. So I went from working at the casinos, the casino closed, I was unemployed for a year. I went from, like, I think I was $13.75 an hour, and that was like back in 2005 around there, down to $9 an hour. So it was like, okay, sometimes you gotta go back to get ahead. Like, sometimes you gotta take that step back, and I was like, Zell, this is just a stepping stone, and every job since then, you know. And I tell people, a lot of people will be like, oh, well, your degree, you make, oh, you go to school, do all that, you ain't making no money.
Don't listen to people.
And I tell people that,
They broke. Don't listen to people.
I said, listen, my salary has almost tripled since going to college and finishing.
Yeah, don't
Now,
listen to people.
yeah, and I
say
tell
college.
people,
I don't even listen to them people.
And I have
they
a-
can't even get in my car.
I don't even
because
talk. I don't talk to you.
that's
Don't even-
hating because I'm like, until you got a degree, you'll understand what we're talking about.
And I tell people, I said, if they put me out at the Guy Center tomorrow, they say, get your stuff, get out. We don't want you anymore. More than likely, 9 out of 10, I'll get a job the next day.
I put it like this. People that say that, ask them to go on Indeed.com and fill out a job application.
Job application.
For 50,000 and 60, they won't even. They can't even make 40 these days without training or a college degree.
Yeah.
And that's just the way society is. But it's just like, so people. I know people. Yeah, he work at a factory. His hands is blue. He worked 80 hours a week just to make what I'm making 40 hours.
Yeah. It's like,
and I get to wear my own clothes.
And I'm not
got my own
sweating.
outfit.
I'm not in the heat.
I mean,
yeah.
I can go
and it's
forever,
like, and
so
I have
it's like-
security. So I tell people like that.
You got security.
Yes, I have. Oh, I'm straight. Cause like I tell people, I
So
said,
like secret, like you got like
Oh, no.
secret service, like
No.
not secret service, but you got.
I have secure
Job
job
security.
security.
Oh,
So if I leave out tomorrow, like if they put me out tomorrow, I'll get another job next day.
Exactly.
Next day, I will call. I could say, oh, I'll go do some in-home therapy.
Yeah,
I'll go over here some part-time stuff. I'll go to Crisis, do this, or I have that security. I remember what it felt like going into a job and you really don't you're scared. You scared. Like if they fire me tomorrow, where am I gonna get another job with a high school diploma, making what I'm making at 13? Well, then at the casinos it was like 13 something an hour. And there was a lot of people was like, oh, you crazy, go back for 33, just go to another casino. And I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I did not listen to you guys. I'm so glad, so glad. Like, it's worth it. Like, people will say it, but it's worth it.
No, I don't listen to people.
I never.
I don't even tend to hold it. I'm like, where you work at? It's just like.
And I tell
And it's not even to make people feel bad, but that's like a loser like they try to make you feel
bad for
them not doing good in life.
Yeah.
And it's just like every successful person, including your favorite rappers, have degrees.
There's a lot of them.
It's not
like they're just.
A degree don't make you smart because
Oh, absolutely.
I'm mad these days that YouTube got all this stuff on there. I'm like, you can learn anything on YouTube. Nah, you can't. I can learn anything I learned in college on YouTube these days. But if you want to play the game and play the game well, you got to present the certificate.
Yeah.
And there's no way around it. We ain't make up the system.
Yeah.
We just got to learn how to play it. And most of us don't know how to play the game. We don't, like I said, even my aspirations growing up, I wanted to play in the NFL. And I had nothing else on my foresight. Nothing. It was NFL, that's it. And then once those dreams start crumbling, because I even went to college, I'm thinking like, all right, I got a chance.
I got to college and I play football.
Yeah, and I was good.
I'm
I'm scoring. I'm good. But then you realize it's a business just like everything else, and you do. And then as I'm older now, you realize those NFL guys only have pretty much like maybe 1 to 3 years in there. Right. The guys that last 11 to 10 to 12. They're extraordinary, but just imagine how many guys come out of college every year.
Yeah.
And even some of those guys that play for Penn State, if you don't finish your degree, you gotta go work at Target too.
Right.
Yeah, I'm serious. It's real. It's real.
You hurt, you done.
You hurt, you done.
Yeah, if you don't have no business adventures, I don't
And
care.
I
You go to the University of Michigan. If you ain't finished your degree.
The NFL is like the worst as far as like compensation
The money's not guaranteed.
And money and like taking care of athletes after they get hurt. They said they're the worst. So and like Tom Brady's 40
because
and he's old. That's old considered.
Because NFL players are disposable.
Yeah.
We're disposable. Is a kid in eighth grade that they know is going to be in the NFL. They already got them identified already. It's a farm system. They already have these things. They know who's in high school when they rank these kids in high school. They already know who's going to the NFL. So if your kid makes it and he's not known he made it by a long shot, but they kind of got an idea of who's going to be making
they
it
watch it,
in the next 4 or 5 years. And it starts in 8th grade, 9th grade. They already know. So it's just like, all right, we got 5 years. If you don't do what you got to do in 3. Why do you think they don't care about Kaepernick? There's another one coming out next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like,
yeah,
like that's why the owners are like, you know, not saying that they're right, but they're just like,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, okay, and everybody still watched the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And everybody still watched the Super
watching
Bowl.
the game,
So they're like,
so
whatever
it
these
was
people
like-
are talking about.
It wasn't that it didn't affect us that much for us to say let's bring him back.
No, they
Yeah.
just know they were.
They might have lost about
They
that
know
much
people.
money.
They know people were emotional, but
Yeah.
the owners of the team, yeah,
They
know,
lost that much money.
The
Now if they
owners of
lost
these teams
about
are billionaires.
that much money, then they might be like, hey.
Yeah, but most of these guys that own these teams, that's not even their main source of business.
Business. Oh,
So
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
what?
Now
It's like I used to think, how could you afford to pay another man $100 million? You got 60 other people on the team. Like, you must got a lot of money.
yeah, that's not there.
If you can afford to pay another man $100 million over the next 5 years, it's like, man.
That's why I should have been a football player.
That's why most of us want to.
should have been a football.
That's why most of us want to become football
That's
players.
why you have multiple lines of income.
I
so
want
you
to
can
save
own your
lives.
team.
But
Well, being I don't think I'm gonna be a football.
But in my program, what I do
Not
try to encourage, everybody's not going to be the football player. But if you got passion, you can be the coach,
Coach,
the general
you can be the-
manager.
yes.
You can be the executive sales. You can be the marketing. And
Physical
you'll still be in the
therapist.
same room as the athletes. You can be a compliance director at a college. I got a friend that's a compliance director at Florida State. He knows all the famous football players. You're not a football player, but hey, that's
Be a
the next
physical
best thing.
therapist.
You're on the
you can be a
sideline. Yeah,
physical
physical therapist. You can start your own sports companies. You can train these guys. So it's more than just being an athlete.
Yeah, just being a lot of people don't get that broad.
Nah, you
know.
can be the camera guy that films the game if you just have that type
Like,
of
how
passion.
amazing would that be? I would just want to be the camera guy.
Yeah. It just
Don't
At the
get
football
hurt.
game?
Yeah, don't get hurt.
just to know the players.
Yeah, like just to be
Yeah.
right there at the game.
Nah,
Oh my
that's-
God, I would
nah,
be
that's
God.
pretty
That's
big
amazing.
time. But like I said, we got to start, not programming, but
Expanding their-
pushing our guys
Letting
into
you
different
know
directions.
that there is more than just being a football player.
Yeah,
rapper.
because still to this day we don't own no teams.
No.
We're barely coaches. We're assistant coaches, but we're
Not
barely head
coaches.
coaches.
Ain't that just one head coach?
I'm not sure, but it's not many black coaches.
What is that? Not the Panthers.
I'm not. Nah, he's not black. The guy. Steelers. He's
Steelers. Yeah.
But it's still only like maybe
And
like
one.
it's like 4 of us
Ooh.
per 2 years, but we dominate the whole league.
League.
We're playing, but
Yeah.
we can't become the coaches. That just don't.
Yeah.
So basketball has got it a little bit together because they're international. They got all kind of things going on.
But baseball, hockey.
Baseball, yeah, we're pretty much not a part of the highest paying sport. Period.
Yes, the highest. Baseball is actually the highest
it's
paid
so,
sport.
It's so funny because the richest guy in baseball is from here. So
Oh yeah, Mike Trout.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so funny. And he was just in high school like 4 years ago,
Right.
5 years. And
Right.
it's like, what am I doing wrong?
Right.
What are we doing wrong, ladies?
But that's
Nah, but he's a rare person in the world.
World,
he's
yeah,
Not, he's not
like-
a. People
and-
say athletes are normal, but they're not.
No.
Well,
Everybody's not gonna make.
He went at it.
He went-
wanted
yeah.
it. He wanted it. He wanted it. So he disciplined.
And that was
him.
his passion,
Right.
like some people that's his passion. If
And-
it's not your I can't go in there and play football and expect to be a multi football
And-
player because I can't play football.
And what people don't
You know,
realize
so
is it like those guys, just being the athletes, those guys are special people, certain abilities, put it like this. Because in order to be the level he has to have a whole different eye-hand coordination than the average
Right.
person. Like he sees a ball 100, we see it 100 miles an hour coming, but he may see it only like
On slow mo.
very slow mo, and that's not normal. So
Yeah,
it's just
so-
like,
and
you do have
that's-
to respect
you
those
gotta
Yeah,
abilities.
and that's
Yeah.
his passion. Everybody has to find their own passion, and that's what you grow in, and that's what you're great at. Because you can't do something that you're not passionate about and expect to be successful.
But
And
it's-
that's what we got to start encouraging the
The
dads to
fathers,
do with the
yeah.
kids. Start identifying their abilities. Because all of we always say we all have greatness in us, but a lot of people don't tap into their potential or their greatness ever because they don't even know to explore it.
That word, when I was coming up, potential always was a pet peeve. Even to today, it's a pet peeve. When someone would sit there and say, oh, you have so much potential. Really tell me what potential it is that you see. And 9 out of 10, they're like, oh, be general about it. And you're looking at them like, no, you whitewashing me. I'm good. Potential to me is not something that you see. Potential is something that you nurture. If you're not willing to nurture somebody's potential, leave them alone.
Don't tell me that.
Walk away.
Yeah, you're right about
Because
that.
that person can be lost and waiting for that person to say, okay, let me mentor this person back into the point where they're be on the right path. Once they feel like they're aligned, they're off and running. Because it's a snowball effect. So once you get that one foot in front, like you went from this program to this program to this program till you landed here. She did the same thing. She was working at the casinos to the point that she was frustrated because she didn't want to be a dead-end job. She wanted to be able to have security, to have a degree, to sit there and say, this is what I'm worth. And that's what she did. She worked it till she got to where it is that she feels that she's got to her plateau, but now she's ready to go on to her own practice.
Can I get hired? Can I do outreach?
I don't know why am I
She
thinking I'm
not about to give me a
whole
job.
entire.
You see how she hesitates?
No,
She's not about to hire me
in
already.
her mind, I'm starting out as just I'm actually going to do in-home for adults.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's no,
Their market for it, but you know what?
There's
At
a
the end
market
of the
for it.
day,
children. I'm
No
not.
children?
No.
yeah, but it could be
Too much of a no.
It,
Kids is
but
liability.
it could
no.
be, it could
No.
work because
Ow.
when he does children, you do the
Oh,
adults.
he
He does
kids.
children.
I don't care, but I'm not doing
There
kids.
you go. Cause
But
you
it's
know
starting off like as
She'll
an
hire me.
in-home.
I'm not listening to
Oh,
her right
okay.
now. She'll hire me.
It's starting off like $5 an hour. Is that even legal?
In other words, if you want 175, because Zell loves her money.
Well, I
I'm
don't
like,
know.
you can't hook me up. You can't do me a favor. You can't do me go see these people, right? Just give me a favor,
I'll
right?
give you $1.75 if you
Yeah,
go.
like, I treat you to lunch one day. Come on, like, come on.
One day, but not today.
Yeah, but it's gonna be just like an in-home for adults, and then see what happens after that.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I hope to. I'm trying to figure it out. I got some time. Well, I put a lot of pressure on myself. I think the world's ended like next week. I'll be like, I gotta do this, and then when I go, people be like, "You're just a baby." I'll be like,
But you have no
"Cut it
clue.
out." Huh?
But you're like, but you have no clue.
No, my bills
No,
are
but
grown.
do it now.
My bills are
Yeah.
very mature.
Yeah, they're
Very
grown.
mature,
Your
yeah.
bills is grown. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
And do it
people
now.
talking
You know what I mean?
about.
If you have the opportunity, do it now. Like
I would like to start
everything.
my own. I would like to start my own like men's center one day.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Or something like a re-entry program or something building around fatherhood because it just really don't exist.
Yeah.
And that's
I
sad.
mean, it exists, but it's not.
And they have a re-entry
It's not really
program.
out there to where you guys just know about it.
Yeah, and
Accessible.
we have a re-entry program here in Vineland, but it's coming from the jail. Like you come from jail,
Yeah.
not like
And it's-
somebody's just home and it's like, okay, I need help. Where do I
better.
go?
I want better.
Yeah, or I
Yeah,
can come
like,
to this center.
I can go to the center and actually,
Yeah, like I work with a community group called UIH Family Partners in Trenton. Shout out to Carter Patterson. They're like the only example in the state that I've run into where it's like a complete men's center where a man can come in there and study the law library if he has his own case and he's fighting. He can come in there. They have a suit closet, probably bigger than this room, that a man can come in and get a suit if he has an interview. They have computer rooms to where men can come in and fill out applications. They have certifications where a guy can go get a forklift, OSHA certification,
Oh, wow.
training so they can go work in the factory, especially if they got a felony or something. And then they just got a whole bunch of array of other things that
And
it's like this is what men need. It's like.
And
But
you know
it
what?
don't
It's
exist
so
everywhere at all.
sad
It don't
because
exist.
and I went to just a training, a seminar, and the lady was telling me about something,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, you know what? South Jersey, they just for the lawmakers completely forget about us.
Because we're not as urban as Trenton and as urban
Yes,
as
and you
Patterson.
go from like shared Camden area up. They have so many programs.
Well,
And
Camden's
we-
like the social services hub.
Capital of the world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like if you
everything.
want to start a social services, move to Camden. And it's sad because they keep it bad like that so business can come in. Camden's not bad because it's just bad. they keep it bad because that's the way you
That's
make a
the way
lot
that
of
South
money.
Jersey
Yeah.
would
Yeah,
generate.
and it's not bad because they can't fix it and the people are bad. And like as I go around and I see this, it's making me be more passionate because I'm like, whoa, we was repping our hoods and our neighborhoods and our blocks and this and that. But it was like we were just an experiment and we didn't even know it.
No,
like,
right.
It's like out of 9 of us, 10 of us was going to jail. We didn't know it though at the time. So it's just like why the cops are only policing my neighborhood, they're not policing nobody else's. So like even in Camden, it's like it's, the kids are kind of like designed to fail. It's not the school teachers, and I can't blame it on the parents. It's just if you just go in some environments, it's just like it's nothing positive. So it's like why would I'm not even thinking to become nothing positive.
And like it seems like Rutgers is so far off from. It's like Rutgers is right in the heart of Camden, but it's not part of Camden.
Right.
But you
You
what
step on
I'm
Camden's
learning, even in Atlantic County, because I'm from Atlantic City, they're doing the same thing in my town. They built that university in Camden so they can bring industries there. I feel like that.
Oh, yeah.
Even in Atlantic City, they can't bring a whole lot of industries there because due to their statistics and stats and all that, they see that there's not a lot of bachelor degree people in that area, so they don't bring those type of jobs.
Wow.
They bring
Yes.
these casino jobs.
thing with
Because
companies.
casino jobs is no different from working at a factory out here.
Yeah.
So
Same thing
and
here.
it's like, why don't we have you go up North Jersey, it's factories for days and days and days, and it's just like, why don't they bring these industries? So they're starting to build a branch of Stockton in Atlantic City, so they can get more educated people, so they can bring.
Oh, so they're building a branch. In,
Stockton,
AC.
in Atlantic City, so you can go get your degree, and it looks like that's what they did in Camden. Also, it's like you can't bring industries to a town because none of the residents gonna get the jobs.
And that's sad.
Not saying that nobody from
Cumberland-
Camden has a degree or nothing, but you know what I'm saying.
But Cumberland has where you can get a 4-year, because I got my 4-year right at Wilmington University. So we have the access. We have buses coming to Cumberland County, like they go right through the campus and everything. So it's like we just have to get that, I think, hope for people to say that a degree can work for you. A degree is good for you.
But I do look at Cumberland a little different. Me not being from this county, it's very lack of resources. I mean,
Very.
yeah, for the men,
Very.
like the men can't even move around if they have a job. Like
Women.
I've worked in Bridgeton with guys, and then they got places I've never even, no offense to Cumberland County, but it's places that's just out there.
Out.
It's just like
No you got to walk
And-
18
Yeah.
miles
honestly,
to get to a
and
bus
me
stop.
just honestly working with the guys in these communities, they don't really feel like they worth much. Like, no offense to those guys, but they're like, it's not no good paying jobs down here. I have to hustle. Yeah, that's just the general attitude. It's like, I'm gonna make more money sitting around
Hustling.
Hustling is like, and then it's like you go to Bridgeton, it looks like they're not bringing no jobs there, not no jobs
Yeah,
worth
it's
having. And then Millville, you go to Millville, it's just like, where is it to work at in Millville?
Where is it?
Stop it.
I know.
Not saying anything against Millville, but it's just like, where is it to work
What,
at for a
half
man
the time
outside
people
of
are
the
just
factories?
trying to survive, not getting shot somewhere in Millville. You know what I mean? Like, and to me, it's like
Well, it's
a
the same thing in
lot
AC.
of a lot of those abandoned buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Things could be done. They could be made into places for people, low income, homeless people. Stop making them abandoned so people going in there and using it as drug houses. And there's so many things, but it seems like the city only wants to do what it wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, demographically,
It's only clean it up so much.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep telling people we're doing our best to clean it up. No, you're not.
Well, I live in I live in a city that throws around money. Grew up, born and raised in a city that throws around so much money. The people that live there, we don't have no money.
Oh yeah, cause Atlantic City
Yeah,
is a whole.
it's like, why is it like that? Why do we even have a project in Atlantic City? It's just like, why? And then it's like we're all funneled into one
Area.
part of town.
Yep.
And they try to shield us off
What
from
was
the
that,
people that visit, and it's just like, no.
Back Maryland. Is
Yeah.
it back Maryland?
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
we used to, cause we used to be like, don't go back Maryland.
Yeah, there's a lot of good people that live around there, but
It's like they push you up, go back that way, so nobody sees you.
Well, that has
Yeah.
that's been there. It's just that I I don't know. It's like I said. There's no way in the world you should have you have one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in the town, literally across the street from a rich casino, which is the Borgata, and the Harris, and the other casino, and you can get shot if you walk across the street. It's like, why is it like that? You know, we got those. We just confused with those answers. We like, why we gotta?
Yeah, I think it's
Why we gotta? We don't even touch the crumbs of those casinos. So it's just like, you know.
I think it all has to do with the mayor and who's running it. And,
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, I say it openly, our own people throw us, you know,
Under the bus.
They get in position and they're not looking out for the next generation.
They forget
of
where
men.
they came from because now they got to keep the political mind frame
Well, it's not
going
even.
on.
I don't think it's everybody forgets where they come. Everybody just want to be the man. And like I said, and you know, I'm not sure about other cultures. It's so hard for us to get there. It's just like people don't look to pull other people back because they scared once you get there, you're gonna take their spot.
Yeah.
And it's usually, you know, but that's the wrong mentality.
It is.
It's the wrong mentality, but it's kind of what
you
we
should
were
never
born
want to
into.
just stay in that position anyway. Like you should always want to grow. Like I'm not going to stay a program director. So somebody going to take over my spot.
Well, you got to
So-
think also a lot of older people, they don't really even have degrees, so
And
they
that's,
ain't really
yeah.
trying to. They not.
And
yeah,
sometimes that's a lot of the problems. Like because a lot of people, especially like in social service, were grandfathered in. So if they're grandfathered in, once they go out,
it's a whole different ball game.
that's
at
it.
this
Like
point.
you're not really getting hired somewhere else. You might have that experience, but if you don't have that specific degree or
And
license,
I feel
then-
sorry for that generation because my mom was she was affected by that type of thing. Like had a high position and you know, because of the degree thing. But I'm like, my mom's still smart.
Yeah, well, my mom
You know.
dad only had high school diplomas.
Yeah.
My mom worked as a nurse's aide at Newcomb, and my dad worked at Wheaton's.
Yeah.
You know, he became like I think a supervisor or something like that at Wheaton's. But our parents are more of the maybe like 10 years ago. My mom just really started to kind of understand and get it. My parents stayed at that job. My dad stayed like 30-some years. My mom was like 20-some years, and they couldn't understand the fact of changing jobs.
Nobody's
like
never
I
getting me
did.
to stay nowhere 20 years.
Yeah,
You gotta
I
be
stayed
paying me a lot
12
of
years
money.
at the casino.
That's a long time
And when
too.
when they did us the way they did, when they closed, I said I would never, ever, ever give another job that many years in my life. And the most after that I've stayed at a job was 3 years.
Same here.
And I've been gone.
No, because I learned they'll get rid of you with a smile. They're like, hey, we love you, but it's not gonna work out.
Look, any
Like,
place,
you love me, but it's not gonna work out.
any place that I've been, in any office, cubicle, whatever, I don't have any kind of decorations.
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
I have enough where if y'all say get out, I'm gonna take my water bottle, like bye, and take my purse
I
and
don't
I'm
have
out
a
of
picture
there.
of my daughter in my office.
Nothing. You keep that playing. I don't even want it. You know, I just take my water bottle, my purse, my keys, and I'm gone. Bye.
Yeah.
I don't put. People got stuff for like 30.
Nah, 'cause
Oh, my great. No, I'm not doing all that.
Everything is disposable.
Yeah, we're
Jobs,
disposable.
relationships these days. What are we gonna do?
I had bronchitis so
That's why they
bad.
got sex dolls out. Everybody's
Yeah.
disposable. So
That's a whole.
Yeah, that's
That's
yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be the
Yeah.
next time. We have been
Just
on
invite
here.
me back for that.
Yes,
topic.
we have been on here for what?
hours.
2 hours.
I'm sorry.
This
and a
is
half hours.
great. We're gonna have to have Kareem back. 'Cause we're gonna.
we can have him back once a month if he's
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Once a month.
Yeah, I'm in the area. I'm always.
Maybe you can bring some of the other in the area programs that mirror yours.
Oh yeah, the one in Bridgeton that you were talking about.
What you mean, Burston?
No, Rutgers.
Rutgers, yeah.
I just said
yeah,
it was in
I
Burston.
can reach out to him.
Okay, yeah, and then we can have you on once because this was like, wow, we really said we wanted a man's perspective, and we got it, and we had a ball
Well,
and
he
a
has
blast.
because he's healthy.
Yes, he's a healthy male.
He
Yes.
wants to make sure
I'm
that
trying to be. Yeah, that's too much pressure. That means when I leave here, I gotta be.
I know you know. I can't make a mistake. I can't.
you be like, God damn.
Yeah,
Like, damn it, they said I
Anybody
was healthy.
see? If anybody sees this, they
I
gonna
know,
be
they're
like,
like,
you said
you
that.
was healthy.
You
Are
said
healthy.
that.
What are you doing that for?
Yeah.
They said you were a healthy male.
And you're not supposed to say this to me
Because you're a healthy
Yeah,
male.
yeah,
They
you're-
said it.
Yeah,
You nasty.
Before we call it a night. I want to make an announcement. I'm doing a fatherhood Fathers Matter community celebration in Cape May County, in Whitesboro at the Martin Luther King Center on March 31st. It's basically to celebrate fathers and encourage them to engage with their sons or their adolescent teens or their daughters. I'm currently looking for vendors. Anybody that's looking to sell anything, get any positive information out. I welcome you to come. You can contact me at 856-691-1540 at Youth Advocate Programs. Once again, my name is Kareem. And if you have a positive service to offer, or you're looking to sell a product that I'm willing to let you come in and hold the table. Or if you do any public speaking or anything that can help the community out, I welcome you to reach out to me.
So that's March 31st at Cape May. And they can reach you at 856-691-1540. They're going to give free gift card giveaways, basketball competition, entertainment, family photos, guest speakers, foods, arts and crafts, community resources. So if you're a guest speaker, you're a public speaker, or if you have, something you want to sell, like you have a
Arts and crafts.
arts,
Yeah, it could be
crafts,
dashikis, t-shirts, socks, whatever you do. Hey, men need socks.
Men need socks.
Everybody needs socks. Everybody needs socks. So that's March 31st.
And it's free,
2018.
people.
It's-
Free. Free.
Yeah, well, is it? Yeah, it's free, right?
Yep.
It's from 11 to 4, Saturday, March 31st. So bring your kids. It'd be a nice little getaway day for the children. And also take your children to go see Black Panther. Did you take your daughter to go see Black Panther yet?
Yes, and
Don't give anything away.
no, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. But I did.
Don't.
I'm a deep brother, so I just noticed some invisible storylines in there
Okay.
from Black history.
They said that it would be some,
Yeah,
and there were some things you have to really.
Yeah, like I seen a lot of Isis Osiris set horror story in that story.
Okay.
If anybody that follows that, just look out for those signs in that movie, because I seen it.
I go on Tuesday. So.
Okay.
Did your daughter enjoy it though?
Yeah, she loved it. She ate
Okay.
all the popcorn and
Yes.
it put pressure on me. We gotta keep the momentum going. She want to do something else, I'm sure, something else, and
And it was, and to me, I haven't seen it yet, but just the commercials and the previews, it's just a lot of strong Black women, Black men in this movie, and that's what we finally have, a movie that is not about us selling drugs or prostitution.
Actually, the
or
women were saving the men.
men. That's what I
And
heard.
that's the comparison I just made. The story, the women was saving the men to save the kingdom, and that's kind of what this fatherhood thing is about. In order to save the streets, the neighborhoods, the community, the women are doing a good job, but we gotta save the men.
You gotta step up.
Yeah.
We gotta save the men.
You gotta step up. And you have a website?
They can reach me at yapinc.org. And you can just go on our general website. You can either type in fatherhood, or you can you can type in fatherhood, or you can just check out our other general programs that we have to help children. We do mentoring, life skills for kids in Cumberland and Cape May County.
So you do service this area?
Yes, we do service this area. We have offices basically in every county in South Jersey. So we do. My office particularly services the violent community in Cape May.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
so any other guests that come on next, Michelle Corley, she is hosting the Raising the Bar event.
did you take my pen and flashlight?
No, he had them in here, and I said y'all didn't need them.
This klepto.
So any guests that come on, you gonna have to bring a gift.
And she done slid them in the bag.
Yeah, you gonna have to bring a gift. We got
This
a nice
the
bag.
first gifts.
Yes, you
Oh,
are
wow,
the first.
wow.
Yes, that bought
Maybe
us
I
a
watched
gift.
too much Breakfast Club or something.
Yes, you are the first.
I was thinking about going to bring a bottle of champagne to you all or
Hey.
something. Maybe
Hey.
maybe we can sip and talk next time. Or
We
something.
do sip and talk.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, we
All right.
Why you think her water bottle's not clear?
Shut up.
Oh, that's what the silver bottle. Oh, that's what that's about.
That's why she said it's the only thing she's taking out from her office. It's not a
Oh.
flask.
Okay.
Just joking, people have her job.
So anybody,
And she's a klepto.
next guest that comes on, you're gonna have to. We gotta do better, people. We gotta.
raising
We
the
gotta.
bar,
We raising the
fellas.
bar.
Raising the
So
bar.
the next gift, Lachelle Corley, if you're listening,
Oh, Lord.
you better
Girls
bring
and
it.
chocolate.
you better bring it. So
But it's been extremely enlightening. Hopefully
yes,
we can
and
have
we
him
had a
here
ball.
once.
So you'll be on again, and we'll.
Once a month, we'd like to have you on for your male role, because we can get things in here pretty heated.
Yeah, I could definitely take on that part.
Yes, we did. It was like very. I don't think we've ever gone like almost.
No,
My goodness.
no, and the next show will be on another half hour, so stay tuned for the Mill Street show. They're
Yes,
next.
the Mill Street Show.
Yes.
So good night, everybody, and we will see you next Monday with Lachelle Corley.
Have a good week.
Have a good week.
Good night.